Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to some more CPL playoff coverage. Deep in the paint on the semifinals. Actually just barely got started, but you know, that's not here or there. We got more action for you. I said it in the Discord message, but the beginning of this series start was cast earlier today. If you didn't catch that and you don't want the spoilers, leave now. Although you can already see them. But we're going to keep going with Let's Attack versus Korean Mechanics Tier 1 play. I'm SAETZERO with ASH RETURN. What up, buddy?
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome everyone.
I always, you know, you ask the question, hey, what's up or whatever. It's like, you know, you get the, how are you, nothing much, and it's never really the right answer. It's okay.
All good. All good.
All right. Well, we can see what we got on the screen. I picked a nice group, plenty of Zerg for my buddy right here. We're going to make sure we have an idea of what we're talking about for today. Well, we got 5 matches Tier 1 play happening your way. You can see it on screen now, and there's a little break set after the third match, just because we're going to take a quick break, you know, restroom, water, whatever we need to do. So there's going to be like a 3-minute break after that third set. We can also see the score right there. Let's Attack currently winning after the Tier 2 play has been done 3-1. So they've been looking strong all season, so I'm not super surprised to see that. Any matches that you see here that are really like eyeing you up that you're just like, ooh, that's going to be really exciting?
EAROB versus AZHI DAHAKI. I mean, both are borderline T0 cases. So I'm really looking forward to that one. I think that'll be very interesting. And HAVIOR and Cause also. And I mean, all these matches are really interesting. Most are seasoned vets who has been in previous seasons. And yeah, this will be really cool.
Yeah, a lot of exciting stuff here. A lot of TVZ. I know a lot of people, they're not big fans of the mirrors. They're tired of seeing PVZ. None of that today. Lots of Terran action. Only the one mirror, the one PvP, because, you know, I gotta have it my way just a little bit. So it's okay. And you also see the asterisk by the P from MCSMUSH. That is because he's a dirty race picker. I'm just kidding, but he is actually a race picker. Doesn't want to play the TVP, rather play Protoss instead of Terran. That mirrors. I completely understand that choice. Well, we're going to get started right into that one in our first set of the night. CROWBAR for Let's Attack, MCSMUSH for Korean Mechanics. First set of the night. All right. In the top right, in the green Terran, it's Nam CROWBAR. In the bottom right, in the orange Protoss, it's MCSMUSH Toss. He even has a special account for the occasion. I appreciate that. And we're starting off on Polypoid. I believe the map order we got here is Polypoid, then Sylphid, and Butter if necessary.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Yeah, no, I went through the replays. We had one fun case of, are these mislabeled? Did they play them out of the way? I gave it a look. I made sure. there's always one, right? There's always one.
Indeed. I think I've seen some of MCSMUSH Protoss versus Terran this season, and he plays a very abusive playstyle. I think maybe inspired by his woes in the reversed matchup. So it'll be very interesting to see what he pulls out of the basket tonight.
Well, all I heard you say was abusive, and that's exciting. You know, I don't, not that I don't mind, but you know, get the gateway, the expansion, 3 gateways, robo, third base arbiters, like it gets stale. So hopefully we do get a little bit of the mix up, a little bit of the exciting play. But right now, just the gateway up at the top, nothing crazy in the middle of the map. Don't want to start off with anything too wild. And of course, we don't know how these were played in the order of the actual playoff match. So there is always the chance that, you know, if you play early, you don't know if your team's like ahead or behind. You don't, if there's any kind of decision making, if that changes your builds at all. But not seeing anything gasless from CROWBAR. Gas being started on time. See if that ends up being for an expansion or some kind of shenanigans. And a late gas for MCSMUSH.
Yeah, it looks like a Silot opener, some variation. Yeah. But CROWBAR has the solid SimCity with the supply depot under the command center and the barracks attached to it.
Yeah, I mean, always like on a 4-player map too, like the Zealot openers. Like, what if it's cross once? What if you don't find your opponent? It all kind of sucks a little bit, but you still get this. Usually, you can get the Zealot in, get some scouting info, make something out of it. Getting the gas now, you know, it's just not what I prefer to see. But I mean, I'm sure MCSMUSH knows what he's doing. Better player than I am, so I'm not gonna judge his build order choices.
Can also be that if you delay the gas a bit, you can get your Nexus a bit earlier, since you're mining more minerals.
And factory going down for Terran, but guys pulled off the gas usually indicates an early expansion. We'll see. You know, Pro scout and see if this SCV is still there. You could try to fight that melee combat. Awesome. It isn't gonna work, but fun.
And CROWBAR here with the double SCV blocking the ramp.
Yeah, making the pathing so annoying to try to get up there. You can see that Zealot didn't lose any hull, thankfully, but still just took a lot of damage and didn't even get to touch one of the SCVs. You did get to pull some guys off mining. You need to slow down your opponent a little tiny bit, but no pressure from this Zealot, no scouting info either. And
moves out. And the Zealot seems to be... I think he'll make it away, but he's very damaged. So if MCSMUSH moves in with both here, and CROWBAR focus fires on the damaged one, it will die real quick.
Yeah, we'll try to make a bunker. Zealot's going to go up there. He does lose one of the Zealots, does kill the SCV, does slow things down a little bit, lose the probe as well. Good Marine micro so far, hasn't taken any casualties, taken some damage. Will kill the Zealot without losing as Marines. Pretty good.
Yeah. That absolutely didn't go the way MCSMUSH was hoping it would go. And we have a Dragoon halfway through the map, and CROWBAR actually pulled some of his boys.
Yeah, this is a little dangerous. You can see already losing all the hull in that Dragoon. Don't have range or anything just yet, halfway through research, and losing those first two Zealots, that's investment that you really put into an army that is now doing nothing, and now you got to worry about this Vulture coming through. You got plenty of stuff going through, and the micro falls apart. Lose that first Dragoon. You're not gonna be able to start a Nexus now, and this is just not going well for MCSMUSH with this opener.
Yeah, this is definitely not going as planned for MCSMUSH. Now actually forced to make a shield battery instead of a Nexus.
Yeah, even the second gateway, which you know was not planned, pulling some SCVs to try to help as well. One Vulture still around, and SCV is causing a lot of chaos here. This Dragoon has to be microed better, so he's taking a lot of damage. Shield battery will help out, but this Vulture's going down, 3 kills already. This is a tragic opener. Thankfully that bunker doesn't go up, but this did so much damage.
Yeah, we get a hold here from MCSMUSH, but that's very big damage. CROWBAR's command center is already going up. MCSMUSH still slightly ahead in workers, but as soon as this command center goes up, I'd imagine CROWBAR pulling ahead in the worker count. Tyrell, follow up here from MCSMUSH. Interesting.
Yeah, I think maybe you feel that if your opponent, like, we know that the command center just started right after the attack stopped, so it's not as big as you would want, you know. So we'll see if it goes through. Range is done, so you're gonna have to repair that bunker and be a little bit careful. But 2 Vultures do sneak around. He's gonna find there's no Nexus even started. If they can get in, see that Citadel, that's gonna be even worse for wear. Enough repairs gonna go through. This isn't gonna break anything, and those Vultures are gonna get a counterattack.
Yeah, that scout is huge, actually. If we'll go down, maybe just focus on the probes up here.
I mean, he sees the Citadel too, so he has an idea of what's going up. And
yeah.
First tank goes out. The bunker did fall. As we're looking at the Vultures in the Protoss base. Bunker does fall. Doesn't have enough repair as that third goon does show up, but there's a tank done, second one on the way. And there's the Templar Archives being started as well. Pro's still behind on workers, so while he's doing a good job trying to get something done with this, I don't think it's quite enough to be in the spot you're looking for, especially since your opponent knows your plan. But no detection started, no academy, no eBay. This could get dangerous if CROWBAR doesn't start that soon.
Yeah, mine is finished, so I think the plan is to hold the Dark Templar with mines.
Right,
but losing this tank is dangerous.
Yeah, he's losing
there's no vultures now, but one is queued up. But yeah, it's a lot of goons out, and a very damaged tank command center got delayed. It's not optimal, the situation right here.
I would say it's not optimal for either player. Like, I'd say MCSMUSH is taking a shot, like trying to get something done here. But you know that counterattack breaking through the bunker, killing some of these tanks, it did. I think it did even up the game more than you think. And you see, still trying to make the bunker, but like this barracks lifted. You don't have any Marines. What's the point of the bunker? I think a little bit like you're limited on resources right now, and still putting so much pressure on these tanks. If you can just keep them worried about that, mine's being laid. This one vulture is all the protection you're gonna get, and these goons could still kind of delay them. All the lines have been laid. DT's on the way.
Using these mines here to deal with the goons is probably not the plan. Oh, and the goon will go down, but now Dark Templars are at the door. One vulture almost done. We'll probably mine up the ramp. Oh,
I mean, you gotta be
the
careful.
timing there.
Yeah, already here. Has to go for a ramp. That means you're abandoning the expansion, which, hey, that gives MCSMUSH that real opportunity. You're just gonna try to walk through them. Loses 2 mines. Second vulture gonna finish soon though.
Yeah, there's one more. Oh, takes down the mine. Now eBay started. What a back and forth game so far. So we have even more Dark Templars queued up for MCSMUSH. Salot mine clearers coming up behind.
That would be pretty good. I don't know how much I want to keep investing in the DTs, but the Nexus has been started behind this. And it actually is completed at this point, so the Pros has a good opportunity to really get some good damage done. These Zealots got a little distracted. Where's this DT still doing great work here? How many kills has he got now? Up to 10. So much damage done. Even the Zealots are doing their job too, as everything moves back to the natural.
Yeah, I think the idea to continue with Dark Templars is a good one, since MCSMUSH has full scout here, and since that there's no scans.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely working out well. Look at that worker lead, up to 20 already. Still having to pull things around back and forth. There is a turret done in the main, so finally it's one Dark Templar. Will be an under enough threat. Still trying to take stuff down with it. That did so much damage. Those are going to move in anyway. But here comes more Dark Templar up at the expansion. And after all this pressure, like, look at Pro's position. They're mining out of their expansion, got a Forge on the way, cannon at the front just to make sure there's no threat of that counterattack with the Vultures. And not, like, over-attacking, not, like, racing through things too quickly. So they're just going to build up naturally. And what a spot to be in if that's the plan.
Vultures trying to lure the Dark Templars up the ramp into the mine central. I think with these mines, maybe CROWBAR will be able to stabilize here. But probably need some more because 2 more Dark Templars are on the way.
Yeah, you can see the Vultures, they probably see the movement if you're paying that close attention. They think you see what's going on, but there's just that cannon at the front. Like, you're not really going to get too much done here. And
One where damage 1 will try to go for the... and will die on... No, he survives. 10 HP.
That's pretty unbelievable. So it's in the base, it's super annoying. And you go for that gas again, and you can really... Like, CROWBAR did build up a decent gas mine, but you can keep tearing off mining more gas, force them to actually take the natural without too many resources to really do it. Like, this is going to be pretty interesting. Still, at some point, though, like, as MCSMUSH keeps pulling ahead, I do want to see that, like, that next step. Even if it's just adding on gateways, which looks like he's finally adding on a couple. I think Robo, getting your observers going, like, that could be good. Take a third base if you feel like it. You don't have to go crazy, but still, I want to see a next step, not just keep throwing a pair of Dark Templar over and over at your opponent.
Yeah, I mean, the Dark Templars are forcing CROWBAR to, like, stay honest. If he, like, pulls down on the amount of mines being laid, then instantly it's game over. But I definitely agree. Robotics and ramping up the gateways to follow suit with this economic lead would make sense.
Seems like we're getting the basic upgrades, gateways being added on, +1 weapons as well. You can see, like, MCSMUSH's got plenty of money. That Robo is really the next step I'm looking for. Because even then, you could bypass all this frontal stuff, maybe going with some drops if you really want to keep this DT pressure on. But still, really putting some work on the CC finally has to get lifted. And You see CROWBAR is just in such rough shape. Finally gets gas mining again, but still so few SCVs in comparison to the opponent. The MCSMUSH looks like they're going to send out Pro, take another base. I wonder if he's going to be in that bottom corner instead of taking the safer one, like closer to your main.
Yeah, it seems like MCSMUSH is going for the other main. But yeah, if MCSMUSH had OBS here, then all these mines would have practically zero value. And since CROWBAR is forced to make non-stop vultures from the lone factory, will probably be low on tanks.
Yeah, that's why I love this move out. 6 goons moving up to the front. Still no detection, but if you're paying attention, you know, you can get rid of these mines.
Oh.
Not the greatest amount of attention being paid.
That was...
It's too much stuff. It's too much stuff. Vultures alert not going to be able to do this. Finally, the GG goes through. And MCSMUSH gonna take that first game, which after that opener, little surprise. That's some big composure from the Protoss player here. That's awesome. Yeah. Great game one.
Yeah. What a way to set the tone for tonight's series.
Honestly, I'm just happy that it wasn't like I was saying, like that 3-base setup with the arbors and everything. Like DTs, a lot of pressure both sides, just a little more action than we're used to seeing in the matchup, which is fun. And I think given how we saw that game go, I wouldn't be surprised to see it again. Sylphid, much smaller map, no ramps to defend you. You want to get aggressive, this is the map to do it. On the game,
Indeed.
On the game 2, we're in 12 o'clock in the black Protoss. It's MCSMUSH in the bottom right. In the green Terran, it's CROWBAR. Black kind of sucks. They did not place Topper's bottom. We gotta hold that.
Yeah, I feel like in most of the sets I've casted this season, it has been on top versus bottom. But generally, as soon as I point it out, the rest of the sets of the evening is in melee.
Yeah, it's not wonderful to see some of these harder colors, which. I mean, when you're playing the game, it doesn't matter, because you can always shift tab yourself. You get real used to playing teal versus red, you know? It's one of the things I wish that... I don't know if, like, the game code would ever allow it, but, like, that was one of my favorite things about, like, StarCraft 2, is that you can change the colors of, like, who I am and my allies and the enemy and the minimap. Like, you change all that, so it doesn't matter what people want to play, because that's all on, like, client side instead of server side.
I think that's that would be a good change. And probably not super hard to implement if Blizzard could afford coders.
I mean, they can't afford someone to pick a ladder map pool in a decent amount of time, so who knows? Alright, no shenanigans on Sylphid. A gateway in the base, not forward like at the natural, not trying to proxy, nothing. You're always concerned with the maps that don't have a ramp, three locations too, super easy to find your opponent. So you want to do something crazy, like you're gonna find them. You're not gonna get like, oh, it was cross map, nuts. Like you're never gonna be caught out by that. And we're getting another refinery opening from CROWBAR. We'll see if it ends up being the same thing, or you know, maybe something a little more aggressive, given how the first game, at least the beginning, went great.
I was thinking that we're probably getting a Zealot opener from MCSMUSH because of the pylon, but you did get an early gas, so I'm not fully sure.
It should still be a Zealot opener. The whole reason I'm getting that early second pylon is so you can make the Zealots and like keep up your pro production. It doesn't really get in the way. And going for a core set, so this extra pylon, a little unnecessary, but you know, it's like small little things like that. It's not Flash versus B-Suit. We're not professional gamers. Like, it's not going to cause big issues, but always looking for a little bit of refinement. And we got the SimCity set up to help mitigate some of the Zealot pressure, it looks like. Or is that slide up one too many? I don't know.
Oh, we need Neblime for that, but I think it's good.
At least part of
maybe,
it's good.
Maybe, yeah, it's partly good at least. I think maybe the pylon is like force of habit.
Yeah, it could be. We'll see. That probe's still in the base. 2 guys mining gas. Factory getting started. So not the immediate pull off that we saw last time, but you know, Scout is here, so you know that might play into some things a little bit. No Zealots made it all. Here comes that first goon. Another pylon. Wonder if it is going to be a second gateway or if it is going to be banking up for an expansion.
Hmm.
Ooh, probe goes down. Not great.
I'm not sure how the math works out if you need to make a third pylon if you go for like a 21 nexus. I guess you probably still need to get it. So I'm not sure if the third pylon timing says anything in particular.
Well, I mean, you can already see he's up to 24 at this point, so not planning for the 21 Nexus as much as you would like. So I think he just wants to build up more of the units, maybe play a little more cautiously on this map. But you can see the CC being started from Terran, bunker up and not under any particular siege. But Dragoon range is on the way. We saw what happened last game. The guys were not pulled in time to get the repair done. So we'll see if that ends up making any kind of difference here. Probe looks like he's going to move out, take a Nexus, and no crazy early shenanigans. Looks like we're going to start off much more normal in game 2.
Yeah, it seems so. We're getting no vulture first opener or something like that from CROWBAR. Standard tank first. Will be interesting to see if it will be mines or siege first.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's siege. Like, he didn't even make enough Marines to fill the bunker. I wouldn't be surprised. And he started, but immediately canceled it upon seeing the SCP got the scouting info I was looking for. Not that many units, and the Nexus is on the way. So he immediately stopped siege the moment he saw that. Now cutting some corners, gets the second factory up instead. So a little bit of reaction off the scouting info, and making an engineering bay will not make that mistake again.
Better safe than sorry.
When it comes to DTs, I don't know, I'm a pros player. I'd say no. You can just die to it. Tank is going to be repel these goons away. Does force a decent amount of repair in the bunker, but you're not going to be able to get that good pressure you're looking for, especially off one gateway production. Like, there's only so much you're going to be able to do here. But the game looks so similar to the first game if you're looking just from CROWBAR's point of view, other than that Nexus. So we'll see what kind of info we're seeing again from this. Pretty fast Forge and Robo going through, along with that second gateway. So I think it's just going to be for some Vulture defense. I wouldn't be surprised to see if it is going to be for a third Nexus reasonably soon. And the turrets, where's the second turret? In the main. Yeah, this is a big reaction here. Everyone's diving in. They're trying to get one of the tanks. Are they going to be the second one? No repair on it. I think so. Oh, brutal.
Tanks. And now one of the Dragoons are out of range of the bunker. Will be able to wreak havoc on these work lines.
I mean, they blocked themselves in the corner, not going to be able to kite too much further, but still, this is well worth the goons that you paid to do the damage here. This is pretty good.
Already 2 tanks. Tanks is resetting the tank count is already value enough.
Yeah, you can see having to rebuild those. There was an upgrade going again that again got canceled. I didn't get to catch it this time, but
I think I saw it was vulture speed. I think it finished.
Yeah, it might have just finished. I might have just missed that. It's been a while, man. I'm not gonna say it's not up to complete par yet, but ooh, we got a shuttle on the way. Looks like aggression has still been on the menus. They're gonna be up to 3 games of production. This isn't really a ton you could work with to get some damage done, so I'm a little surprised to see a move this much. Like, if you're gonna get a Reaver and all that kind of stuff, it makes a little more sense to me, but that's not the plan here.
I think it's more of a on reaction bulldog to getting the initial tanks.
I mean, sure, but you could just take that advantage you got and be like, oh, he can't push out. He just reset his tanks. He has to build up safely. So, like, you're
just as we say that, CROWBAR pushed us out. Cast the curse.
Yeah, he's pushing out now because he invested in all these units instead. Here comes that shuttle. No Zealots in it. It's just a shuttle moving through. Is this just the hard fake? Go back and defend this thing I don't have?
Maybe. I know that it was a bit meta to make a shuttle first if you're going for Reaver and then send it to Scout, because then you can see if the Terran is going for a 4-fact opener. Because you can't if you go shuttle Reaver or shuttle Observer. Or Observer first, I don't remember.
Fair enough, but we'll see. Like, there's no mines anymore because all the vultures got killed off. But as they reset a lot of these units, these tanks have to be careful. I don't think Siege Mode ever got finished though, right? Because it got started and canceled. I don't think it ever got finished.
I think it got cancelled and prioritizing vulture speed. Is this cannon actually MVP now? Because it kinda forced Crowbar back a bit, which gave MCSMUSH time to get 3 more goons.
I mean, you say that, but still, like, this isn't a lot of years from MCSMUSH. Like, this isn't. You're not out of the woods. You're not feeling super comfortable yet. You can see we're kind of about even. Still has his shuttle, but like he's not even having time to really make zealots to throw into it. Making more gateways behind this, so he's gonna kind of keep on this 2 base for a while. Citadel going up as well. Siege mode is being researched, but if Crowbar like doesn't lose his contain, maybe bolster it up by the time siege mode finishes, then this could be pretty annoying to deal with. Those mines where they're laid, though, you know, if you want to really push in, those mines with this shuttle could be incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Zealots, they died at the initial engage here at the natural, because I saw that 2 were made to go with the shuttle.
Look at this. Fucking move the probe off to that side base, making use of the shuttle. If I was Terran, I'd be furious if this happens to me. Oh, move out here. Not many Zealots go with it. Siege is done trying to force the issue while they can, but you can see just the tech's a little too far out of range. The mines helped out too, and the Vultures just enough of a wall to slow things down. Now sieging down the natural, and I don't know what is going to be the plan. Has a couple Zealots to work with. We'll see if it's going to be enough. That pylon has depowered the battery and the cannon.
Oh, that mine. These mines are few. Oh no, they got pulled out before.
Yeah, just out of range of the tanks, moving them off as far away as they can, and this is some pretty big
focus
damage.
Fire. Oh, 4 more shuttles coming in. I mean Zealots.
Yeah, still playing.
But these vultures. Yeah, there's no defense for these vultures as is. So furious damage, but all the tanks goes down.
Vultures as natural. Vultures in the main too, mining up by the gateways. This is the Protoss nightmare. This is never want to see. But if like MCSMUSH can defend this, look at the macro from Crowbar falling off a cliff, really focusing on his attack. Like this, thankfully he's doing the damage I think he needs to like really get this big advantage. But there's a lot of money that Crowbar could have been spending.
And now it's a lot mine. Oh.
Those poor probes. They didn't deserve this.
Oh
my god, this...
Yeah, these mines are just wrecking havoc. All these vultures, all up in the Protoss grill, killing probes.
He's got this robo, he's got this observatory. Where's the observers? It's just unfortunate.
There's one outside the natural, but it needs to be where the mines are.
Still gonna keep the pressure on. This is just revenge from game 1. It's like, oh, you're just gonna keep attacking me? I got the perfect remedy for that. It's just doing exactly the same pressure. Now, you know, there's enough goons here. The observer's still around as well, so you know maybe you can start slowing this down. But the damage has been done. Down 20 workers at this point. Crowbar really in a good spot, working on armory and getting their scanners as well, because they saw their Temple Archive finish, even though we haven't seen any DTs being made. And you can see MCSMUSH's money problems are really just pretty... It's just not great.
Yeah, this is a very dire situation. It reminds a bit like in reverse of the last game, with Vultures taking the place of Dark Templars.
Yeah, just so much damage being done. So much trying to hold on. You can see though, there's not that much workers, not that much income. The shuttle with the 2 DTs is going to be the Hail Mary, but remember really early on how there's that blind defense against the DTs? Turrets are already in place. If you're not paying attention, you might just lose that shuttle before you drop them off.
Yeah.
That does drop them off at least. Will lose the shuttle, unfortunately. Detection. Plenty here. Scanners are gone. The DTs get killed, and the only chance to maybe come back here, or at least any reasonable chance, kind of falls off the window, and Crowbar cements this tremendous lead. Double the opponent's supply, so many workers ahead. This hidden base, it might be the only thing we've just got to hope just never gets found.
Yeah. I mean, this is a lot of minerals to resaturate. Even with 3 Nexi, will take quite some time to make enough probes, and still always gotta be prepared, because there's always tanks on the way, always vultures on the way to make sure you can't safely not make army units. I guess that's the Sargon thinking you can't make workers and army at the same time, but it's also an economy question.
CROWBAR was even looking for a hidden base. He like went up against the wall on the lower ground, so he didn't actually find this base, unfortunately. But this attack, there's no defense for it. Like just rolling up into the natural and sieging up right next to everything. Oh, that little choke where all the gateways are. You're never gonna get anything out of here. This is just.
Yeah, it's too much Terran
at
this point. That gets us to GG, and our first set of the night does end up going to Game 3, so gonna get to see Butter right off the bat. Always welcome to see what shenanigans can happen there. Now, both players, strong moves in their first 2 games, and we're gonna go on to one of the weirdest maps. It's the one where we typically see a lot of pretty aggressive games, so we'll see who cracks first doing something wild. Yeah, this will be very interesting, I think. I wonder how the players will adapt to how the first 2 games went.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what you'd adapt, though, because, I mean, both players kind of got to play their game a little bit, so we'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah.
Alright, game decider on Butter. In the top right, in the pale yellow, is MCSMUSH. In the bottom right, in the green Terran, it is CROWBAR.
We have had some pretty great Protoss versus Terran games on this map this season. I remember, like in the first King of the Tiers, there was quite a few really nice ones.
You've seen any kind of builds pop up as preferred? Is this like an Arbiter map, like a carrier map? Any kind of like insight where we might go?
It has seemed to me like carriers tend to show up if the game is long enough. The long corridors and the few areas to make additional gateways kind of make carriers slightly stronger choice.
Yeah, I like the way every time I look at this map, I just looked at it's like you got all these vertical lanes that you can go through. I think movement in one ground army can be a little tricky to not get them in a weird position. So air units or something a little more mobile definitely makes sense to me. But
yeah,
I think just also like when this game gets later and you don't have like you got your top or bottom side expansions, maybe the one right by your main as well. Like after that, expanding to the next thing, like if you're not ahead, it's very difficult to kind of try to make something work. Ooh, gets the gas steal off. I think you're expecting this as Terran at this point, but always nice to have it successfully happen. Doesn't get the wall off in time. This probe going to cause a little bit of havoc. We've seen CROWBAR do gas openings both times, so we'll see. Do they know the gas?
Oh, so close. Yeah. It was very close to CROWBAR actually getting the wall, but the probe arrived just as the depot finished. So very nicely timed there from MCSMUSH.
It seemed that way. Now we got the gateway made, no Zealot being started just yet, so looking like maybe the build's closer to what we saw in Game 2, but we don't have to worry about tanks or factories or anything, if you got a lot of freedom behind you. I know some players tend to be like, oh, I can just throw it out next, is how you're going to punish me, which can get you into a troublesome spot if Terran knows a nice way to counter that with just some bio and some bunkers and stuff.
Yeah, on this map, Terran can easily adapt and make like a proxy barracks on the map, and with the wall, the probe will be enclosed within the main, so it will be hard to scout, and can be hard to read if there's a command center going up that's out of vision, or what the Terran might do.
Well, looking like they're not going to just try to go into a bunker, expand, or anything. They're going to kill off this gas. Everything's a little bit delayed, but no big problem here. That probe does finally die as the first Marine finishes. And we got the Cyber Core about to finish. Hasn't made any use from the gateways yet, knowing you're not under any immediate threat yet. Second gateway going down.
Gateway?
Yeah.
And CROWBAR, I think, will go for a command center before factory.
Yeah, I mean, you got plenty of money. There's really no reason to. This is a little suspicious, though. 2 probes really trying to chase down this SCV. It's like, no, I need to kill this. The third one joining the fight. This is terribly suspicious.
Yeah, it do look very suspicious. But it feels like CROWBAR has gotten all the intel he'd want. He has seen both gateways, and I think he saw that there was no nexus going up.
Yeah, he pulled it back towards the natural, like at the entrance. So he definitely has an idea what's going on. We're just seeing goon pressure kind of be built up. We'll see if it will be a nexus or, you know, really commit to doing some of this damage. Range about halfway done, and send the probes out. So I think it's gonna be expansion, but you know, gotta wait on the money for a little while, unfortunately.
Maybe it was like a fake out. So the double probes to raise suspicion, and then show the double gateways to then follow up with nexus, and maybe a greedy third base.
I mean, it's possible, right? Nexus does go down. We got 3 goons. They're moving across the map, and it'll be done soon enough. CROWBAR again, learning the lessons of that game 1. Here comes that eBay. Which I respect it, especially, you know, you get the gas deal, you know tech's going to be slowed down a little bit. It's like, yeah, I think DTs are a reasonable thing to expect, so this eBay, I like it a lot better than I did in the first game. First game felt a little wild. Even as some SCVs ready to repair this bunker, really kind of expecting some kind of pressure from MCSMUSH that, I mean, he's ready to put a little bit on, but he's not breaking that wall anytime soon.
Yeah, it feels like MCSMUSH is not committing full on to the 2 gateways, getting the robotics very fast comparably to the last 2 games.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with that, because if you're planning to play a little bit slower, get the expansion, the goons stepping up trying to kill off SCVs, it usually doesn't work that great. Doesn't take any hull damage though, so no big deal. The first factory is done, working on the machine shop, second one behind it, so tank's still a bit off. Ooh, really trying to go forward, but takes a lot of hull damage on one of the goons. Has to be a little bit more careful.
One going down. Oh.
I swear, people think that's easier than, like, it's like, oh, it's just, you know, attack the bunker. The goons will stay out of range. No, they won't. Absolutely not. They won't. This game be a little bit annoying.
It's like when you watch pro gamers perfectly line up their hydras when they hydra bust, and then you try yourself and all the hydras run straight into goons who don't shoot. It's definitely not as easy as it looks. Oh, the bugged out movement there, causing 2 more goons to go down.
Oh no.
And 1 very damaged.
This is not, like, you could just settle for the repair. This guy's not mining. It costs money to repair. Like, that's fine enough. Like, you know, like, tank's not coming up. Like, you want to dive for the tank. Like, I don't like this diving for SCVs thing. And you can see how much damage it do. Well, he's still down on workers.
Yeah, I mean, I do like on some levels the diving for the SCVs, especially when you only take shield damage. But it's not worth losing goons too.
Yeah, if it was just like that first poke out, trying to get a little bit, you take 1 or 2, no big deal. But he's lost 3 goons here. Now, like, this contain that he's trying to set up, this soft container, make sure there's no move out. Imagine if there's 3 more goons there. It was 9. That's like so much harder to break through.
Yeah, and one-shots tanks. Oh no, you can't commit to this one.
Well, you commit a couple more goon lives, unfortunately. Siege mode is still pretty strong, in case people forgot. Like, sometimes, you know, you think, oh, you can kill the tanks, it's not that bad. No, it can be quite bad. There is another shuttle behind the way, so, like, I don't know. I don't like this. Like, compared to that second game, where it's like, oh, well, you killed a bunch of tanks, so you think they're a little bit weak, you can try to get the shuttle and get things going, but it's like, here, one, you'd gas stole, so, like, that caused him to get the eBay anyway. Like, you don't have any zealots to drop in this. You've lost 5 goons to the front wall for not much in return. Like, what are you gonna do with this shuttle that was half a nexus that is floating above a third doing nothing?
Yeah, I agree. It feels like MCSMUSH is in this game going for the frontal pressure, but not committing fully to it. And then after losing a bit of the initial goons, then starting to commit more to it. And I think maybe trying to like pile down on getting more Nexi, which it seems now to be the plan, would be a better idea. Maybe we're getting like as Terran is going to move out, we will get a 4 DT drop in the main potentially. There is no scan.
Looks like it's just the 2, unfortunately.
Just 2 now, yeah. And we do see that CROWBAR has no scans, but is now getting a turret at the command center.
He's got a couple turrets on the ring as well. Big damage taken. Does manage to drop him off, but I think he's going to lose this shuttle. Again, lose it, but the DTs are in the main. And we'll see. Trying to pull things back. Did he have spider mines? No. Being researched now. No real detection available. Working on that comsat.
Really need to be careful with these Dark Templars because of the turret. That was perfectly timed here from CROWBAR. Going up at the command center.
Yeah. That big investment into all this anti-DT stuff early again. Like, if you just invest that and you never made these DTs, that's a lot of minerals sunk for nothing, but here it does go through, and what does he end up killing? Maybe a couple SCVs. He invested in the shuttle that he lost, 2 DTs, got 1 depot. Sure, bought time to get this 3rd Nexus up, but overall, I think, like, we just seen MCSMUSH kind of recklessly lose a lot of units early, which individually, 1 or 2 goons here, DT here, none of that, but this adds up very fast. That's like, look at the supply. It's even. Not where you want to be this early in the game.
Yeah. Work count is even though, after I think being slightly behind after the early game. But it's not optimal. This is a very big amount of tanks.
Yeah.
And yeah, these goons, they go ploof.
They go ploof.
Yeah.
I mean, they sure did. Now, this is just... DTs are moving out, but you know scanners are available. You had the DTs in the base. You got to see them. Vultures are moving forward. Mines should be done. Hasn't really laid too many yet, but these tanks, still a lot of muscle moving through here. And that contain you could have had as Protoss. Like, now you lost control of it. CROWBAR can try to reinforce and take control of the map, and this could be their path into getting their next base. But here's more DTs in that shuttle. A second shuttle. He doesn't care. He's got his plan. He latches enough Artos to know how annoying this is.
Three Dark Templars this time.
Oh, well, he does.
He's you need to drop. Oh,
he got them all. He got them all out, but there's a lot of army in the main here. Is CROWBAR going to try a snap attack? How much damage could these DTs do?
Potentially a bit. But yeah, we still have 1 turret here and 2 more scans and reinforcements that got out. Oh, a Dark Templar harassing the push got dealt with by mines.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna kill any tanks either, so a little unfortunate.
But it's an interesting approach. Dark Templars in the main to force scans, Dark Templars at the push forcing scans. So it's like a staggered assault. But all Dark Templars got dealt with.
Right, and where you at now is Protoss down 20 supply. This contains still outside your natural, and the only thing protecting this 3rd base is 2 cans. Like, a tank could just roll up there and be like, what are you doing? Well, unfortunately, that's not what we're seeing yet from CROWBAR. MCSMUSH having a little bit of trouble spending their money given all the pressure we're seeing here. Another shuttle being made. He's not giving up this. And finally, we're seeing a Stargate as well, so maybe the move towards Arbiters, but that's going to be way away from this actually working. SV is going to move out, maybe for that 3rd base. An observer will see it, but, like, you don't have the stuff as Protoss to punish this. Right now, CROWBAR's full control of this game.
Yeah. Vice grip of the situation.
1 can at the front, enough to dissuade these Vultures from going too crazy, but the contained Titans, a little scary, all these mines, so you just don't put the tanks by them. Smartly not doing so.
It's a pretty sizable push here from the Terran, and tons of more units on the way. 6 factories. Got an Arbiter going, but only has +1 so far.
Shuttling Dragoons, the sign of desperation. Never the move, but Hey, he does find 2 tanks a little bit out of there, so managed to kill one. Not gonna see it out of the range of the other ones. So will kill 2 tanks for that. Not too bad. But 2 tanks.
Yeah, that's a worthy trade.
Absolutely, anything you can get right now. But some tanks did find that 3rd base from Protoss, so they're gonna start shelling that down as well. No real way to defend it. And we see Arbiters on the way, more DTs being made as well. And I think I saw 1 Goliath. So, like, there's been so much shuttle play. If you're active with that Goliath, maybe you can help do this. Another shuttle moving out. Zella's going to try to defend this 3rd base, which the probes are all gone at this point, but yeah. We'll see if Zealous can get the job done at least. Looks like they will be able to clean this up. Does nothing to break the contain, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, but they got 2 more tanks, which is a sizable amount. It's 5 left in the contain. So together with the 2 goons from earlier, that's pretty much half of the tank force. MCSMUSH here trying to break out.
It's not a bad time to do it. All the vultures were preoccupied over at that 3rd base. A lot of DTs moving through. There wasn't that many mines. Tanks get cleared out. And damage is being done here, but unfortunately, that supply count, every time I look at it, it looks like Terran somehow builds more. They haven't lost workers. They're doing a good job trying to macro out their factories the best they can. More reinforcements show up, and MCSMUSH is trying to hide another base over at the 9 o'clock again, just realizing the spy's in, taking whatever chance he can to try to get back in this game. First Arbiter's being made, but so far away, and especially from, like, if you're waiting on a stasis, the cloaking field would be nice, but this isn't really going to be too helpful for any amount of time.
Yeah, the situation is very dire here for MCSMUSH, so anything that can give some power back will of course be appreciated, but I mean you can't really get any probes to this expansion either.
Yeah, well, you can see around the Nexus, everything moved forward, really kind of shell it down, and tank's gonna roll up to the 3rd. Not that anyone's mining there. This shuttle trying to do what it can, drops a DT, so no scan just yet, so undetected, but still just be able to muscle through so much at this point. More reinforcements for CROWBAR gonna move across the map as well. It's like cute little moves, but like cute's not gonna get you out of the hole you've been dug into here. CROWBAR up 70 supply at this point, and still pushing in further.
And more than double the work count, getting a 3rd. Just expanding on the advantage here.
These fucking shuttles. There was a Goliath. What happened to the Goliath? Why is there not more of them? It's just funny to watch, but still, this ground art is way too big. Like, this little stuff is not going to be enough. It's just funny to see.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the fighting spirit here in trying to remain and think how do I get out of this situation. So far I haven't seen any possible lines that gets you out of this pickle. But yeah. I do like the Dark Templars. They add some level of like some time, since you need turrets and scans to be able to deal with those, and then you also have the Arbiter, and now ferrying out a Zealot and a Dragoon. I'm not sure where they are meant to go.
I'm not sure. I don't mind the idea of what he was doing with the Dark Templars. Like you're saying, there is scans, there is a cost. You can't just like scan constantly freely, but as you build up more CCs, it becomes less of an issue. And it's like you're spending all this gas and money on these units that's like, it's annoying right now, but it doesn't build towards anything. It's not like a faster 3rd Nexus. It's not more gateways. You can see even at this point here, like the gateway production for a long time it was 4. We're at 6 now. It's just not that much to work with. The Vultures find the hidden base over at the 9 o'clock, wondering I guess why we haven't moved out. A little drop over at the Terran 3rd, but so many Vultures are gonna roll through. It's like no, I'm not even pulling these SVs. You're not doing anything to me.
Yeah, I think this could have probably been dealt with just SVs.
Honestly, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. All the workers at 9 o'clock now gone. Big worker lead for CROWBAR. Big supply lead as well. He's not even like going crazy, doing anything weird. There's building up this army, got 1-1 upgrades, working on 2-2, keeps reinforcing, and whenever he feels comfortable, that's when he's going to push in. But realistically, their opponent's on one base in their main, and it's about to mine out. You don't even have to push in. You can wait for them to get desperate and try something, because they're going to have to. The Arbiter is building up some pretty significant energy. Won't be enough for 2 stasis, but, you know, maybe a recall, maybe something crazy? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh.
That poor egg just explodes immediately from all the CPL fire.
Yeah, this is once again too much Terran. Very, very solid play from CROWBAR and very valiant play from MCSMUSH.
Yeah, and that's that first game. You know, it looked like it was interesting, but even CROWBAR got a good lead there. Just somehow, just got back. Couldn't pull in the other games, and that gets us a point for Let's Attack here. Really kind of growing this lead up. Hopefully Korean Mechanics and the Tier 1 kind of even up this match so far. But you know what? That wasn't a bad match to start with, and I'm never gonna like be sad about like a player like MCSMUSH. If you can like race pick and play 2 races well, that's always crazy to me.
Yeah. It's very good for being like his off race, so to speak. Very solid Protoss.
Yeah, well, I mean, this will get us into our next set of the nights. We got EX Amazon versus Forte. EX Amazon 4, Let's Attack. Korean Mechanics is represented by Forte. TVZ, one of the 3 we got tonight, so a whole bunch of the classic matchup. We'll get started on this one here. Going back to Poly.
Humans versus aliens.
Yeah, Starship Troopers, man.
Yeah.
Alright, game 1, back in Polypoid. In the top right, in the orange Zerg, it's Vape Cloud Forte. In the bottom right, in the olive, it's Amazon 3000. So, these, of course, just, you know, having names like, we know who you are at least. It's close enough, but...
I'm actually very much looking forward to this. I remember Amazon Core from prior seasons. He used to be Amazon Core SC.
That does sound more familiar. Okay.
Yeah, he's. I think he was on my team last season.
So what? Did he like unlocked his boss version? That's why he's EX Amazon now.
Yeah, possibly. He got added from the waitlist this season, so I haven't had a chance to see his play yet. So I'm very interested to see how it looks today, so to speak. He's always been a very good Terran. And Forte started out the season as a Terran player, but switched to Zerg after a few weeks. And I remember he was a bit of an MVP for Team IKEA build orders when they seized their CPL trophy a few seasons back.
Okay, what race was he playing then, if you remember?
I think he was playing Zerg then.
Alright,
in Tier 3.
So you got 2 players that just unlocked their like true potential. It's like, I'm not going to hold back with this Terran nonsense. Back to the reals.
So we're getting a regular, or so to speak, 12 hatch from Forte. And Depot Rax Scouts from Amazon Core. Ex-Amazon, I should maybe say.
Yeah. I mean, in my heart, and I know, like, when I think of these references, I'm old. I'm old now. So, like, I think these references, I'm like, it's probably not that. But to see Amazon 3000, I'm like, Andre 3000? Outcast? But it's like, that's so long ago. There's probably people in CPL that weren't alive when Outcast was a thing. So.
Definitely. Seems like we're getting free hatch opener from Forte here, with additional drones after the pool.
Well, also the gas is a little bit delayed too, right? That would be the big thing you're looking at.
Yeah, exactly. Generally, if it was a 2 hatch, he would get the gas before the additional drones.
Oh, very fast CC coming up from Amazon here, so should put them in a pretty good spot. That 3rd hatchery does go through. I don't think there's been any scouting info for the Terran yet, but he's going to be able to roll through here with this SUV. Nothing blocking it. And that hatchery is so in the way, you could not scout that if you tried.
Definitely, no trickery going on. It's just a straight up free hatch.
Yeah, which I mean, I feel like that's something I would expect from some of the more lower level like CPL, but tier 1, I think I see a lot more 2 hatchery play because you kind of get to finesse your way into some games, you know, get to play with the mutas and have it be more robust. I think playing against 3 hatch has been a little bit more figured out. You do the 5x +1 stuff is just so potent against it.
Yeah, and as we see, Amazon got the eBay started, so we'll probably get 5x +1 or 4x +1 as the counter here.
Yeah, Lair being started before Ling Speed, so really wants to try to catch up on that muta production. Now, I would love it if it ended up being lurkers. I think that's always fun, and it's better than people would give it credit for, but I don't think that's what we're going to see here. Actually,
yeah,
that second gas, the natural, we'll see when he takes it.
Yeah, I actually don't mind going for a free edge lurker if you have like to read that it's eBay first, because the big risk with going free hatch lurker is that
oh no!
Oh my!
Oh no!
was that the right clicky mineral slide?
I think that was the attempt, but then it just maybe a little mistimed. The SCV just gets to roll right on through. Damage was not done enough. And unfortunately, SCV rolls on in, sees how far the lair is across without seeing a Hydra Den, so you can comfortably get ready for mutas.
Yeah, if it's not a big... it's a Spire. But yeah, but as I was saying, just the drawback of going lurkers when you open free hatch is that there's such a big risk that you will get contained by a small bioforce from most Terran openers, so they will get like free pickings of your lurkers as you try to move out because your taker is so late. But since Amazon here opened eBay first, we'll actually not have enough units to be able to do that, and the Academy will be a bit late too. So versus this build in particular, I don't mind going for lurkers, but Spire is the true more versatile way of playing there, opening Spire.
I mean, there's also always that small thing that I think it's a lot easier to play lurkers. If, like, let's say the connection wasn't great, I don't know where these players are from, if that's a factor. So, but, like, going up to those 5 racks, +1, and the Academy upgrades rolling on through. So, we'll see, like, you know what Terran's doing at this point. If you're playing 3 hatch muta, you've seen this so many times, you have to have an idea what's going on. Scans are going down from Amazon. What does he see? Pretty much everything. Actually, does he see the Spire? He does not see the Spire. But he doesn't see a Hydra Den in all the other creep. So, you know, I think it's still pretty safe to go through it.
And saw the 3 eggs also, which is a bit of a giveaway.
And sees drones moving out to the top left with a scouting FCV, so the indication of where they want to push, these scout links get taken out by a force moving out, but is this a little too late? Like, I don't think you move out too aggressively here, because, you know, you got the 2 Sunkets up at the front, you're up to the 9 mutas, and Forte's hitting the map.
Yeah, I think you can't, I mean, it's cross-map as well, and since it's free hatch, 9 mutas are out at the same time. They will face this Marines just as +1 finisher, but you don't want to be caught out of position. Amazon only has 2 turrets in the main and 2 at the natural, which is definitely not enough if you don't have any Marines close by.
Yeah, and more mutas got added on, a little more than the control group worth in total. I think they ended up going up to 13s. So, you know, you replace it if you lose a couple, but now I'm going into lurker production, not really investing, no +1 air, any of that kind of stuff. And gonna try to fight here, trying to find an angle where you can get some decent micro going. These Stim Marines get split up, that's a couple free kills.
Yeah, he can still trade decently. I think it's very smart to actually go up a bit in... Oh! Because this +1 Marines really... It's very high DPS, you will lose Mutalisks as you try to deal with this army.
Yeah.
Oh,
Unfortunately, just walking into the fire range, not taking any more damage. Lurker aspect nearing completion, and
Overlord with vision from the hill. Marius didn't see it. It got so close.
We got a hatchery up at the top left, and look at the bunker being made. Amazon knows about it, which...
One Marine going over there to man the outpost. Oh,
it's a lot of damage going through. It's Mutas, they're at least being reinforced, so they're not like totally falling off a cliff as far as their effectiveness. Lurker has been done. 2 lurkers being made. Here's the stim to go in, and we'll see. Can the Mutas try to help defend? It's taking some damage. Sunkens haven't gone down just yet, but Marine count's still so high. Sunkens go down, and Marines are evaporating for the Mutas.
Yeah. Yeah. Marines with upgrades are just so strong. It's they are shredding. Lurkers good here, but it's actually getting a lot of work done. Now it's only 3 Marines, but the backup troops are close by, and the medics are still alive.
Yeah, and remember that pressure up at the top left, that hatchery, that outpost is going down. That's enough for Forte to tap out of game 1.
Yeah.
Pretty strong move from Amazon. That's a little scary as Forte, because not like anything went terribly wrong that game. Just try to do the micro, it didn't work out quite so well. So we'll see if they change the plan. During the game, we did get a raid from Broodor, and I saw Schemo did one earlier as well. But getting to that casting, I'm being a bad host. Thank you so much for the attention, guys.
Welcome.
Watch some tier 1 play from CPL. We're in the semifinals at this point. We're in the second match now as well, so got some nice TVZ heading your way, and we're ending with we're not ending with PvP, but we got PvP in the later half as well. Oop. Wrong button.
Oh.
Yeah. 1 second.
Yeah,
I accidentally hit OK before you joined, because, I'm dumb.
There you go.
The Nam emotes are really good, Mutiler. Oh, you missed the crowbar game, Nam. They tried, and they looked pretty good as well. They ended up winning it, so good for them. On still for game 2, we got in the 12 o'clock in the pale yellow, it's Vape Cloud Forte. In the bottom right, in that pale blue, it's Amazon 3000. And fortunate luck, this Overlord is going in the right direction this time.
Yes. Which is interesting, since you generally would like to send it to 8 o'clock. But there's no judgment on my part in regards to that.
See, you're lucky. You got that European accent. It's like, I can't tell how sarcastic he's being. Because if I said that, I'd be like, oh, you should send it to 8 o'clock. No judgment, no judgment. Like, I'm just saying.
It will be interesting to see in this game if Forte will stick to the 3 hatch or adapt and do a 2 hatch build.
I think just because of what we saw in the last game, I think you'd want to go 2 hatch. Everything's a little more sped up. Like, it seemed like Amazon's really well prepared to play like that 5 racks plus 1, executed it well, and like Forte did nothing wrong. It's not even like they overbuilt Sunkens or tried to cut corners or anything. Like, everything looked pretty normal, and they still got kind of run over. I think you switch it up.
Yeah, it was very textbook from Amazon. Like, okay, I see the 3rd hatch, I do the counter, and it wasn't much to do from Forte's end. I think it was a really well executed 3 hatch build, but also a perfectly executed 5x plus 1 from Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, like, professional play is always a different thing. People have this insane micro, they can abuse every little thing, so the faster you get the mutas, the more advantage you can get out of them. But I think there is a reason that it kind of fell off in pro play, other than just there's more play to 2 hatch play. Like, there's more things you can do to outmaneuver your opponent and kind of get more work done. It's just like, once the 5 racks thing, it's hard to make 3 hatch really work without giving yourself that period where you're vulnerable, as we saw Amazon exploit last game.
Yeah, and we are getting a 2 hatch build here from Forte with the sharp 2-minute gas timing. Love to see it. And since it's a free-player map, there's no need for the second scout for Amazon. It goes ahead and gets the next command center.
Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty reasonable. Again, the CC after the 1 Marine again. I think we saw it last game as well. So, Amazon did also skip the bunker at last game. Maybe there's a period where you can go for that if you want to make a couple more lings, get some ling speed, do something like that. But we'll see what it ends up actually being here. The SCV gets the scouting info, confirms that we're dealing with 2 hatch now, even sees the lair morphing. So, all the info you want to see, and SCV managed to stay in the base. Will it survive? Will the lings try to chase it?
Do see the 6 lings being made, so I expect a bunker to be made here from Amazon. But the lings are staying back, so unsure exactly how to adapt. We're getting an eBay first this time too from Amazon, even though seeing it's a 2H build.
Yeah, I thought you usually get the Academy first because you need STEM. Like, you need to finish STEM, right?
Yes, Academy is definitely the most common.
Yes. There's the mix-up. 2-hatch Lurker instead of 2-hatch Muta. The SV has moved out. Nothing looked too off. Maybe he can at least get back to the natural. You're going to see when he gets that second gas timing.
I think Kingsbury is done. No, it's not done.
Hasn't even started.
Hasn't even started, yeah.
This is
it wouldn't be done for another 40 seconds if it was started at the normal timing.
Yeah. Now, how are you feeling about this? Amazon did, again, skip that bunker like we saw in game 1. Feels comfortable just keeping the Marines grouped up, not seeing a ton of links made by the opponent. But this it feels like it's gonna be a little bit dangerous here. Academy is about to finish up, and we got the eBay done, working on +1 before STEM, which I'm not sure. Like, against mutas, I know like you want to get STEM as fast as possible, but you know, maybe this is better against lurkers. Do you have any kind of experience with that?
I think that you do want to get stim and range in particularly versus I mean both mutas and versus lurkers. Stim is obviously the most important one, but marine range also helps a lot to trade efficiently versus mutas, so they don't get a lot of free shots off and free picks. And with marine range you also outrange lurkers with the bunker.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we'll see if those go through, which, you know, that eBay coming first is going to slow all that down a little bit, so there might be some kind of window where things are vulnerable. Lurker about to finish, and already 4 hydras on the map, so ooh, scans go down. What do they see? They see the hydra dead, no spire. So the gig is up, but he doesn't actually see the hydras morphing, doesn't know where they are on the map, and one SCV is going to be outside the natural. We'll see any kind of move out when they move, but it's still 4 lurkers, and you gotta respect that. Second bunker is gonna go up immediately, and kills an overlord, gonna make supply a little bit tighter.
Yeah, I expect Amazon to be sweating a bit here because I think they were very much doubling down on it being mutas.
Yeah, kills the SCV, but he does see 4 lurkers moving forward. I know, like, if you build just buildings, it'll buy you some time. Third bunker gonna go down here. Marines filling up both, so has to be very careful here. What do they got as far as scans? It looks like you're going to have 1 scan right now, up 2 going to recharge really quickly here. Lings are moving forward.
You see what I see?
I see a Queen's Nest. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes. It's very much what I'm talking about.
Fast defilers always works really good if you can get your opponent contained, especially around these bunkers and things, so we'll see if that ends up being the move. Considering he's not really trying to push forward here, the Lynx, I think, saw the turret, knowing that it's like you're never going to make that work. And
yeah, free bunkers too much. Yeah. Free bunkers here, you just ain't busting that. You can maybe take down 1, maybe 2, but you can't take down 3. You need to commit a lot more to that. So I really think the idea here to soft contain while getting a third and hive going is 100% to play.
I'm a little surprised. Amazon canceled their 4th racks to maybe get this factory up faster, or they know they're not going to keep up the production. Maybe going to work towards double starport and getting those science facility, like getting that stuff really built up as fast as possible. Hive on the way, evolution chamber as well. So we'll see what the play is going to be from here. Hasn't added on too many more lurkers and actually starting to work on drones instead.
Yeah. I did see the cancel of the racks was followed immediately by making the factory, so I think that was the trade-off.
Ooh, one actual queen being made. One
Ooh.
singular queen. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's a bit spicy. Maybe to like broodling the first tank.
I mean, it's possible, right? Like, you think that you're gonna see tanks, but that's still, you're investing in the research, you're investing in the queen, you have to wait a long amount of time. Like, if you're only making one, you're only making one. Like, you're not gonna be able to add on more later because they'll just never have the energy.
Yeah. Maybe the lurker here at Fortis Nat, I think, seems to be anticipating a drop. Or are we getting like some parasite action?
That'd be pretty cool. Defiler Mound is on the way here. And we actually, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually for Ensnare.
Well, that's possible. And Snare seem to have gotten a lot of traction lately.
Well, the queen is moving forward, quite a fast unit, so it might actually just be for the parasite. Get the info here. Try to get something. What are we gonna see? Does it get some decent scout? Yep. I saw it somewhere.
Yeah, it's on the medic in the middle. Right above.
Yep, I got it. Nice. All right, so yeah, gonna be able to see the move out. Never a bad thing. Scan's gonna go down, and we'll see. These Marines taking a lot of damage. This is not the way you want to break out. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that didn't go exactly according to plan, and I don't think you want to be relying solely on scans to bust out here. The vessel is out, and put some pressure on with the initial tanks. 3 tanks is enough when sieged to one-shot lurker, so Amazon has the optimal composition to deal with this. But yeah, losing that many Marines wasn't exactly how Amazon envisioned it, I think.
No, not really. Like, now you got Zerg at Hive Tech, 3 bases, has Nice Canal, like, really got everything they're looking for at this point. Gonna Aspire as well to help deal with the science vessels, but
don't get sniped. No, don't lose all your lurkers.
Yeah, hopefully not. Has to run away, so at least drawing things away from the natural, gonna buy a little bit of time at least. A couple of defilers loading up on their energy, but he needs some units to kind of back this up as well. Spent a lot of time droning up. You can see the worker supply. Actually, even between the two, the lurkers are going to retreat to help defend the third base. There's not a lot of units, though, at the natural. We'll see if Amazon feels like they can push forward here. A lot of the medics away from everything else. I don't know if you saw the parasite. It's like playing around it. But
I think the parasited medic is dead. I can't find it.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe restoration.
No Sunkins here. Only the 3 lurkers. Radiate goes down. There's Darkstorm.
Yeah, so now it seems like we're kind of entering I would say regular mid-game Zerg versus Terran scenario with Darkstorm. Oh, we need Darkstorm to support those links.
You can see moving forward. Plague is done. So we'll see if it's going to be Darkstorm or Plague. Can start whittling Red's army either way. Here comes Lurkers moving forward. No retreat from Amazon. Oh, this could be so bad. Has to try to pull away.
Oh, I think these tanks will go down. Oh, one makes it out.
Barely survives. Good move, though, from Forte to kind of push all this back. I really want to see a Plague, though. Like, everything's so grouped up. A Plague would have been sick.
Yeah. Oh, there we got one.
Yeah, hits
everything. But no support for that swarm. Some more links being made, and 40 is at +1 carapace.
Ooh, big move from Amazon. Already has 1 dropship made, working on a second as well, so maybe circumventing some of this shenanigans, going for a drop somewhere. So we'll see if that ends up being the move. Drone's going to move over to the left side, maybe put claim on that other main while Amazon's trying to regroup, figure out what to do. Lots of lurkers going to move forward here. Is there a defiler? Yes, there is. Got a dark swarm and keep pushing things back, keep distracting the turn. Another tank goes down as well.
Yeah. Seems like most of Terran's aggression has been averted here. Oh, vessel went down. Oh, this push here can be quite deadly, and the Queen has 180 energy. I'm not sure if Forte got any other spells for it.
I didn't see any, I don't think.
Ultra Cavern almost done, and Amazon can't really do anything about the 9 o'clock expansion here with the ongoing. Oh!
Hey!
We got one!
Yeah,
we got one!
We got it! We did it!
We got a live one! And it's getting an infested turn too.
Man, I wish I was doing this on CROWBAR so I could show you how cute the infested command center is on CROWBAR. You never get to see it, but oh man! And look, these dropships gonna move around from this, but holding off the pressure against these infested Terrans, they're gonna do so much damage to this bunker. They're gonna just be able to roll through here. This is a terrifying spot.
Oh my! This is fantastic. Yeah, I'm at loss for words. I'm very glad to have experienced the infested command center.
Alright, dropship in the main. Where are we going to go? This Queen's going to move forward, get an idea what's going on. More parasites to see exactly what's happening here. But there's that drop in the main. Nothing really going through. Vultures included, so big damage going to go through. A lot of drones die very quickly. They don't manage to get to a nice canal or anything. And
oh, the plague to bait in all these marines. But how will we deal with the ones in the main?
I mean, you got the Defiler back there as well. Lane's moving forward. No Darkstorm just yet. You got Ultras as well. Dropship's going to bail out. And ooh, Scourge going to try to track him down as well.
And barracks going. A barracks at 9 o'clock. Ready to try and do some damage. These bunkers are burning down. I actually could just move in here. There's not much left after the Plague Lure.
Yeah, but I think you want to build up those infested Terrans, man. You got to win with style here as Forte moves forward here. And here they go, man. They are fast. They are so fast.
Yeah.
Don't you dare say GG before they get the... That is bad mannered. You let that happen.
They were so close. They were like just touching. They're touching the command center, saying no. We will go for the workers.
If I was Forte, I would have kept playing that out. I'd be like, no, I'm gonna get the connections before the replay's over.
And make sure that your replay gets like overwritten into the sanding or whatnot. Make sure it gets in there so that the continued playing shows up. Yeah. I don't know what to say.
That's brutal, but that does get us to game 3. Oh man, it happened too. It actually happened.
3 infested Terrans were made.
Alright, so we're going back on Butter here, and now we've seen 3 Hatch Muto, we've seen 2 Hatch Lurker. Like, on Butter, like, you know, smaller map, you know, air is nice to move around with, but if you're good with your Lurker control, I think we saw in this game, you know, maybe Lurkers are the way to go against Amazon rather than Mutas. We will see.
Yeah, I think, I mean, since Mutalisks are a lot more common, it makes sense to have probably more practice versus that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how things go, though. Back on Butter, game 3, so it's going to decide it. In the top right, in the white Zerg, it's Vape Cloud Forte. In the bottom right, in the yellow Amazon 3000. The Terran who did not let fun happen. The fun was over.
Fun died that night.
Hey, we still got another game. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible we get more infested command centers tonight. You never know.
But we actually got one. It was so close. We actually got one.
Most of the time when the infested command centers show up, you aren't making infested Terrans to support it. You just like get the command center and the Terran lives because they don't enjoy fun.
Yeah, honestly, that's the only thing I ever really see in Infested Command Center is like you got Lings that get into the range where it needs to be, and then they lift. It's like, ha, you won't kill. It's like, okay, I will not kill it. Good job.
Yeah, it's a very rare sighting. We're getting the Overlord here, so no 9 pool or something like that to switch it up. We'll probably get the 12 hatch again from Forte. And the same SimCity from Amazon as in the games before.
Yeah, I would be a little surprised to see a switch to a pool first opening. I know some people will do it on Butter, but I always wondered like how much was that? Is like I haven't practiced Butter that much yet. I don't want to play like a real game because it's usually also not the game 3 map. It's usually earlier in the set. So I'm happy to see 4 days stick to your guns, what you know, and I think most of the time whatever you want to do on Stilford probably also works fine on Butter. Like the maps, like they're not like similar, but I think like distance wise, the fact that it's like you got to worry about getting contained outside your natural. There's no ramps to hold into your main. Like, I think you can kind of translate the strategies reasonably fluidly.
Yeah, they have quite a few similar features. We're getting a 2H build here from Forte. One thing that I think in particular about Butter, since it's a 2-player map, the Terran can do like a very forward 8 racks and snipe the Overlord while bunker rushing you, which might prompt some Zergs to want to do like an overpool or something to play it a little bit safe against that. They can also scout very early to try and block your hatchery.
Well, Amazon sticking to their guns again. That one Marine CC behind it, expecting a gas reel soon as well. So we'll see if they change to something else. But I think maybe Amazon just got caught off guard, because we saw it was prep for mutas, and then like, oh shit, it's lurkers. You don't make that mistake blind again here. Scout's still alive. Go to see that the lair's on the way. And all right, I think you spend more time making sure this stays alive and stays in the main.
Yeah, for sure. And we get eBay first again from Amazon.
So at what level of play do you say in CPL do you like appreciate someone sticking to their guns this much, like still the eBay even before Academy, for example, compared to like do you maybe adapt a little bit?
Yeah, I mean there have been a bit of a meta shift recently where Zergs were going for 2.5 hatchery lair, and then Terrans adapted getting EB first into 4 racks to try match army to the mid-game army sizes of the Zergs, and then Zergs adapted by playing more greedy instead and getting a 4th hatch before making mutas to counter that one. So it still works compared to 2 hatch. Like if you compare to versus 3 hatch build where you want to get the 5th racks, you might want to stay on 4 against the 2 hatcher build.
It's just the biggest thing is it's delays stim so much. Like it feels a little bit scary here, and we're actually seeing Spire play this time. So we're gonna see all like the cool builds from Zerg here. We got the 3 hatch muta, the 2 hatch muta, and we saw the lurkers last game. I am a little concerned though, because remember, like last game, when you play 3 hatch muta, you have a lot more mutas to play with, and the micro wasn't awesome. There was like a little spots, I think, choosing some of the bad spots to engage, and especially when it became more of a real fight outside the Zerg natural. So hopefully that gets cleaned up a little bit better here, or maybe as the numbers are smaller, Forte feels more comfortable.
Yeah, and we also see that Forte here got the 2nd sunken, being baited a bit by the move out from Amazon that kinda were indicative of a stim rush, but actually we know that it's an eBay first opener behind this, and it's a 5 racks opener. So scratch out everything I said earlier.
Yeah, Amazon is literally playing like it's 3 hatch, even though he had the scout, he knows it's 2. And so I remember like 2 hatch came back into prevalence because it hits before all your stuff really gets online for these. You're investing so much in these barracks, it's hard to like make the turrets you need. So
yeah,
we'll see if there's gonna be that opportunity where these mutas can get some damage done, really kind of get Amazon on the back foot here. Mutas have hit. He's also getting +1 air weapons. I like the investment. If things go well, keep investing further. It's not that much more money to do it. Turrets are going up. Some in the natural. We got a little bit in the main. Nothing covering the production.
Yeah. I mean, that's the main drawback. If you're going for the 5 racks, it's as we see now, Marine range is just started, So with some really sharp Mutalisk micro, you can punish this heavily, just because you can trade so favorably compared to Marines. You can just kite them.
Oh. Gotta pay attention. Take some damage, lose the Muta. Ugh.
Oh, getting with medic. Nice.
Not bad, but it's buying time for that second turret to go up. Still nothing really covering the production, but you know, without the ramp, things have moved forward a little more fluidly. Looking for some kind of opportunity to do some damage here. Maybe here, right at the choke between the two bases. Gotta be careful. Therefore, you're not losing too many things. Getting a third base behind this as well, so nothing going too awry. Making a lot more mutas, no fast lurkers this game instead. And Evolution Chamber on the way as well, so I wouldn't be surprised, you know, skip lurkers entirely, go straight to Hive, get those ultras going.
Yeah, it looks like that, yeah. But as we see now, Marine range finished, so kind of a window has kind of closed, and the +1 is done here, so sniping the eBay has less value. And there's only two turrets here, but 5 racks can make 10 Marines in half a minute.
Well, I think you got to be worried about this push, because like you were harassing the main for a while and you saw nothing. Like no Marines came back, so pulls everything back in, ready for the defense. Has a full group of 12 and Overlord in the middle of the map. Amazon not getting distracted. Keep pushing forward here.
Cast the curse.
Whatever. That's fine. Kill things. Kill things. Let me be wrong. Get some more action in here. Because are going to try to fight the Marines. Not in a good spot though. Loses 4 immediately. Another Overlord's about to go down as well. Push it towards the third base. Does not have any defense.
Yeah.
Not great. Not great.
Not great, yeah. So yeah, here we see the power of +1 stim and range. It's very good. So yeah, this expo won't be savable, and I think, as is here now, 40 will need to get at least like 6 Sunkens up to hold this. Yeah, we have some Mutalisks here, but it's hard to trade favorably now that this range has finished. Oh, nice snipe on the medic.
For a couple more mutas, maybe you can finish your way through, but we saw in that last fight, Forte, like when there's a big fight, he's not microing the mutas, he's just letting him fight, which that is terrifying against this early bio force. Like you just don't have, they're robust, but they ain't that robust. They're moving forward, gonna try to pick off, but focuses Sunkus, one goes down really quickly. There's not that many mutas here to help out, they're taking some big damage, both Sunkus go down as well, and Forte's defense has disappeared entirely here, drones die as well. That's gonna be enough. Amazon's gonna take Game 3 with quote-unquote the wrong build. He doesn't care.
Yeah. I mean, you fear the man who has practiced one kick 1,000 times, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was asking. Like, at what point do you favor someone really practicing sticking to their guns versus adaptation? Which clearly here, stick to your guns. They worked out quite well. And, you know, Forte, you know, either practice up the mutas a little bit or stick to the lurkers. That game looked so solid. I don't know why he switched back to mutas. It's a little unfortunate, but it gets another on the board for less attack. 5-1 the current score now. They're really kind of getting a nice comfortable lead here. Hopefully Korean, you know, get a couple games here in tier 1. Don't make it so landslide as we go into the last 2 sets here.
Yeah.
Or is it just that Terran's broken? Is it Terran? Maybe?
Maybe. That's very much possible.
Absolutely. We're going to go to our third set here. We got TADDE versus Mazer. TADDE is the Zerg representative for less attack. Mazer for Korean mechanics. And we got another DVT. This time, you know, a little flipped on which team has which race. We'll see if it makes a difference. Back on Polypoid for game 1. In the bottom right, in that pale green, it's TADDE. In the top left, in the white, it's Mazer.
And so cross position on Polypoid.
You ever feel more comfortable when you're in this spot when you play this matchup, or do you want to be closer?
Personally, I kind of want to be closer, vertically or horizontally, because then you can take your third cross position from Terran later, which at least for me feels better. Here you kind of have to expand in the direction of Terran, and I'm not super fond of that as a concept.
Yeah, I don't mind it as much if you like playing like that turtle style where you're just gonna your third and fourth base are another main, or you want to do like the I'm gonna go both corners and you can only stop one of them kind of stuff. But I think if you play like the normal way, yeah, I kind of agree with you. Being forced to take the third base as the mineral, and then after that, you're never really going away from the Terran the way you'd prefer, honestly.
Yeah, and especially with Bio and I guess Vultures for in Terran versus Protoss, they are so fast and mobile. They can reach you so fast. But seems like no shenanigans this time around. We're getting a 12 hatch from TADDE and Rax opener from Mazer, with the second scout going to catch any incoming lings. So Mazer knows if it's a pool first opener, so we'll probably get the Rax expand, I guess.
Yeah, seems that way. Pool going down and a gas behind it, so it should be another 2-hatch opener. So we've seen this before, but we'll see if if TADDE can execute it a little bit cleaner, or maybe has a little twist. I'm not expecting Mazer to do the weapons before stim first every game thing either, so definitely gonna be a little bit of a flavor difference in this one, regardless if it ends up just being 2-hatch muta versus Bioforce stuff.
Yeah, I think I've seen a few games of Mazer Turn versus Zerg, and I haven't seen eBay first opener. Not that I can remember, at least. I don't think I've seen much of TADDE's Zerg vs Terran. I know that they are a big fan of Hydras, so we might see lurkers.
You saying that because of versus Protoss, or like is he a Hydra boy in ZVZ?
Mainly versus Protoss, but I think I've seen one game versus Terran, and I have a vague memory of it being Hydra lurk. But I'd say my sample size is limited.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be. Like, I know you're awake all the time, but you can't watch everyone play everything.
Fair. We're getting the Ling regular Ling speed timing here, and only 2 Lings, rest drones. I do like that since it's cross position.
Yeah, Mazer did have the scout in the main, so moved right as the legs went through, saw the lair timing, so both players playing with a lot of information that they're really kind of looking for at this point. Gas about to finish up for Mazer. We'll see if it ends up being that Academy before eBay this time. Scout, did it die? It did die, so
yeah.
Not going to be able to stick around long enough to see, but we don't see the hydrogen on the way, and that is definitely more unusual, so I think
it will be a Spire receive a drone ready to waiting for the lair to finish at natural. Both are playing very safe, with Mazer getting the bunker, even seeing the sunken and the low link count, and it being cross position. Also pulling 2 SCVs to the ramp in case just before the SCV scout had time to scout the Zerg, just in case it was 2 Lings, 6 Lings running cross map that they had missed. So playing very safe, and also TADDE getting the sunkens even though cross position.
Yeah, this is also a different look. Look how fast this factory is in comparison to what we saw in the other games. So maybe moving really quickly towards that starport and really build up that vessel count as soon as you can. Or, it could actually just be for some of the factory units as well. Never really know for sure, but I would be very surprised to not just see a fast build up towards those science vessels. Actually, I'm a little concerned though. Spire's about to finish. eBay hasn't even started.
Yeah. Starport going up before the eBay is a bit unusual.
Yeah, I liked it a lot more before I realized I don't need an eBay. I'm gonna have flying units. Like I'm good. It's like no, no. You want turrets? this could be really bad. We'll see because there's not even like that many barracks to build up. This rink out cancels the starport. Ooh, that's not great.
Yeah, maybe the idea was to go for like vessel plus tank timing and try to push. And if it would have been lurkers, it would have been great. But now, since it's mutas, it will be hard to get everything in time. Starport going up again.
Right, but what did he see that made him change that? Because it's not like he scanned. He hasn't like confirmed anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Just got the feeling. Scan goes down at the main, so it doesn't see the spire. Feels bad. And now building that starport a little bit higher up as well, so you know maybe putting in a more defensible position. 2 starports on the way, a lot of turrets being started. There's a window here for sure where I think TADDE could have done some damage, but a little hesitation, buying some time for these turrets. Gonna fly it to the natural. No units are here. Turrets aren't done just yet. Just finishing now. Ooh, managed to stop 2 out of 3, so you can go for the kill. No Marines being moved just yet. There's a stim.
Oh, you need to be very much focusing the attack here. 7 Mutalisks, 1-shots SCVs, but you need all to be hitting the SCV.
Still, I think he caused a little bit of chaos there. I don't think that's too bad, and you can see a drone move to the bottom left, so if you're just buying time, you got a couple more mutas also here. +1 weapons about halfway done for the mutas, and 6 more mutas on the way, so no lurkers this game. We're going to really commit to the areas for a significant amount of time. Even though you were in the base, you saw double starport. Like, that seems scary.
And Mazer here going for dropship before vessel, which is an interesting choice. Considering mutas are out and it's cross position, and we know that mutalisks are around the near. You have only 2 barracks, so you kind of need your marines at home.
Yeah, I don't hate the decision, because I think like, what's the real difference between having 2 vessels versus like if you just wait for 3? You know, like I don't think like the difference between 3 and 4 is as big, but maybe that dropship you can force your opponent to peel back, but give you a little breathing room if you can sneak one out across like the left side. These mutas trying to fight into 3 turrets here, doing some decent damage, but you know, also taking some as well. Still 10 alive, getting a little bit bruised up. Repairs go down the turret, so managed to save one of them. Still burning a lot of scans to try to find these mutas, and there's just more in the group outside the natural. I don't like where this is going so far. But Array's halfway done. Maybe that'll be the move when you finally get some vessels and get some energy. But these Marines keep getting picked off.
Yeah, this. I mean, the Terran defense here is very, very thin. We have 2 turrets, 1 bunker, sure, but it's only 8 Marines total. 2 more coming down, and oh no, they're getting loaded into the dropship. So we have 4 Marines against 500 million Mutalisks and 4 Lings.
Well, yeah, there goes the dropship. They did scan to make sure at least the path was clear, so the dropship's not going to just die in the water, but oh man, they got lots of legs, so many mutas like you're saying, and just going to keep poking at the front. Dropship is going to move out. Maybe the counterattack. Can he hold on? Radiate's done. 1 vessel's building up energy. 2 more in production, but here's the big attack.
Yeah. You need a lot more actual men on the ground to hold this attack. And even if the dropship goes down at the main, we know that there's another expansion at 7 o'clock. But maybe this irradiates.
Got pulled away really quickly, so that radiate's not doing too big damage. But there is the drop in the main. Try to do some counterattack. You're going to kill plenty of drones, which is nice. But, you know, you still got to deal with all this stuff that's in your base.
Yeah. And now Mutalisks are over production. Yeah, calling the GG. I think maybe the dropship was a bit of a Hail Mary play. And in that context, I like it. Like if TADDE didn't pull the trigger with his Mutalisk or didn't commit, then that was kind of a way to equalize the score a bit or maybe even pull ahead. But as is, it was too low barracks count to be able to produce enough Marines, I think, to sustain the defense while as well committing to that move.
Yeah, I think also some of the things we saw being built had that really fast starport that got canceled, which definitely feels bad. The delayed eBay kind of giving a window for the Mutas to kind of start causing a little bit of chaos, and like you're saying, just not enough barracks. Unfortunately, like because that's what I think you usually see. Like it's 2 racks academy, but you get the 2 racks pretty quick, and you're constantly making out of them. It builds up. That's not what we saw that game, unfortunately.
Yeah, and generally you also add a 3rd or a 4th barracks to support the production as you get more SCVs. Maybe if Mazer would have gone for Valkyries, it would have been a better play.
No
to
armory,
hold.
though, unfortunately.
Yeah, you need to make the armor if you're going for that, but maybe like 3-4 Valkyries would have, together with the Marine production, would have been able to hold that attack from TADDE.
Quite possibly. Well, we're on game 2. Another day, another game. We'll see if this one goes differently. In the 12 o'clock in that purple Terran, we got Mazer. In the bottom right, in the orange Zerg, we got TADDE. And, good luck for the Zergs. When they're playing on this map, they get that scout that they're looking for, the Overlord.
Yeah. I mean, I actually really like this map for Zerg. Even though, like, conventional Zerg versus Terran, you want to take another main so you can get a relatively easy 4th gas, which is a lot harder on this map compared to, like, Polypoid. But for some reason it's still nice because of the expansion being very muta-harassable.
Well, I mean, especially these spawns, the 12, the main, that is so muta-harassable. The gas way off in the side, like, just a pain to try to get turrets to cover everything.
Yeah, and a bit, from what I hear from Terran players, it's a bit hard to fit all your stuff, also.
Alright, so we got the smaller map, we got the no ramps. How do you feel about this pool first?
I liked it more before I saw this wall from the Terran player.
Is that actually going to be a tight wall? I don't know.
I think it will be. It looks like it won't be, but I have memories of trying to get links inside the main of a Terran doing this wall here, and it's not memories I cherish personally. But for me, it depends a bit. I like opening a 9 pool on this map and then transitioning to macro play. We see that TADDE is not getting the gas, instead of getting the expansion here, so we will see if it's just 6 links or if it will be more links.
Seems that way. Yeah, don't want to stop for the SV. Like, if you're going to go, you got to go. Like, it's got to happen. Depot is going to close up that wall. We'll see if it ends up being link tight when it gets there. Second barracks on the way before gas as well. So, Maze are not going to make the mistake. Better production this game for sure.
Yeah, we'll probably get the in-base command center to lift up and land outside, as enough Marines have been made to to push back these links. SCV is still in the main, sees that there is no gas, getting a 3rd hatchery together.
Yeah, 3 hatch, 4 gas is if you're gonna catch up, I guess that's a way to catch up. And yeah, it looks like these links can't get through enough. It's just doodads and good building plates are gonna be able to slow this down. So, like you said, not memories you cherish. As TADDE's opening isn't quite working out. Now, is there? I don't know. Like on this map, like, is there like a tight wall for all locations? Like, or if you had the 9, would this been so much better?
I think the 9 o'clock one isn't tight. I think you need an SCV to like kind of plug the hole in. But 5 o'clock, I think you can make a tight wall. I'm not 100% sure. I think you need to make a depot racks depot type wall at 8. But I'm not 100% sure.
And that's understandable. Here's why I asked the question, because I was like, well, I don't know either, but now I can make you look silly because you don't know, and I asked you. That's the gambit I like to play.
It's a strong move.
Pretty good.
VSTV scout getting the Hydroden scout.
So I don't know. Did it actually see the Hydra? It saw the drone moving, but the SUV's still in there. It's gonna be able to see. And this is like Hydroden the moment the lair started. It's significantly early if you're trying to like get those fast lurkers. You don't need to show so quickly. It also makes me think it's like a trap, like you're trying to trick your opponent. But you know, it does finish. I don't think so.
Yeah, I do like at face value getting the Hydroden when the Terran gets a wall, because the lurkers can like bust down the wall. But as we see here, it's just a temporary safety measure. Now the factory timing also makes sense, knowing that it's a Hydroden, since you want to get that first tank out reasonably quick.
Yeah.
And you don't need turret.
Yeah, they So I got a question, because I never understood this. When I played Zerg, I did it every game, and I was like, I don't see why this is such a bad problem. Why don't you, if you're gonna go Spire, just make a Hydroden anyway? It's so cheap. It's like you're gonna make one for lurkers eventually. Like you could trick your opponent, maybe. It's like it feels like you, even if you never use it, like why not?
I mean, yeah, you're getting lurkers by the end of the day anyway, most of the time. But I guess the main issue is that you have so few drones, and one drone gets sacrificed to make the Hydroden, and that drone is also a larva, which could be one more Muta later, or one more drone even. Queen's Nest. And also, the Terran players, they can just scan, and generally speaking, if you're saving up to 3 larva, it means you're making Mutalisks. And if you're continuously using all your larva, that means you're making lurkers. So even if they don't see the Spire or the Hydroden, they can still kind of deduce what you're doing depending on how many links you have, how many larvas you're using, etc.
Well, that's all such good answers, man. I wasn't expecting that serious an answer. That is fantastic. That makes sense. This is why I was very bad at Zerg back when I played. Here comes a move out.
I do see the Spire plus Hydroden at sometimes. I mean, it's like it can be used occasionally, but it has its drawbacks too.
Seems reasonable. Now, we do have the second starport on the way. Science facility is working, so we're going to have vessels on the field eventually. Lurker is about to finish being morphed, and that hive is halfway done at this point, but Mazer's up at the front. I don't know, Lurkers are done. He burned a scan to see that they're there, and he got 3 Sunkens. I think this is going to be a little bit hard to push. But Mazer, again, just like we saw last game, making a dropship as the first thing out of that building. And in this game, I like it a lot more. You know, you got all this frontal defense, just go right into main, just pull some stuff apart, maybe find a window where you can get some damage done.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at this point, you can't really attack the front because of the lurkers and the Sunkens. But since there's no Spire, there's nothing really that can deny the dropship.
They saw that little stim forward, like the lurkers moved forward, tried to get one, killed one, but lost a lot of bio, and like they think that attack overall killed 7 Marines, so pretty good here. Still on 2 racks of production, working on those science vessels now with Radiant nearing completion. But the hive is done, so is Defiler Mound on the way, so you're going to have that Darkstorm to deal with soon enough. Link speed about to finish, so you can work on improving those as well. No Evo Chamber though. I'd say, you know, that would probably be the next step eventually for TADDE.
Yeah, but you also are kind of gas starved since you have only access to 2 gas, 2 extractors, and you're making lurkers and you're wanting to make defilers. So you're already kind of hard pressed when it comes to gas. So I'm not sure if you.
Jesus. Everything's getting killed off here. This is bad.
Yeah. But still, some medics make it out alive. I think... oh, that's a dropship.
That is a dropship. It's killed off some drones. It's a pretty decent damage here.
Oh,
and,
sniper with the fire mount. Oh, no.
I don't think there's enough DPS. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. It's going to get close. I don't know. Here come the bird lurkers. Trying to go through. Doesn't kill it. How much did he save? Only 2 units.
That was so close. Yeah, I think you need 7 marines and 1 medic to snipe that defile mound.
Would it have been worth to ignore the drones and purely go for the defiler mount straight up? Because you know consume is not done. If it's that fast a defiler, there's no way consume's done yet. We're really slowed things down.
Yeah, maybe, but at the same time, killing defilers, killing drones, that's like permanent damage. And if you kill the defiler mount, you just make a new one. And they can still continue with the sunken since you have no tanks.
Yeah, but like it would buy you time. You get to rebuild that science vessel count, really get some irradiates ready. I think like both would have been okay, but it definitely did a lot of drone damage. Look at that worker count difference. And TADDE's still not even trying to take a third base, so really focusing that it's like I got what I need. And Mazer taking third base in the weird spot. Let's go.
Yeah, I really like this very aggressive posturing of the vessels, since we all know that there are no scourges on the map. Trying to catch the defilers long before they reach the Terran Natural.
Yeah, the raids go down some of the lurkers though, but a lot of the Bioforce did get killed out. I think that's just going to mean Mazer has to stay back at home. I don't think there's enough force to go through here. And yeah, these raids doing big damage here. That lurker threat getting pretty limited. Like you said, TADDE being gas starved. Here comes some defilers moving across, but it's like you can't replenish all these lurkers if you lose them like that. So it's going to be hard for TADDE to do some big damage. Look at that supply difference. And especially like this CC I don't think the CC ever gets found.
No, I don't think so either. I do like the commitment to the dropships here, going for double dropship even though we know that there's defilers at the door. I do like that energy from Mazer here.
We're trying to go through. We got to radiate some both of them. Trying to get Darkstorm in time. They does manage to get one off, which he does see the dropships move as well. You're not going to be able to go to the next bunker, but still, this is some pretty big damage that could happen here. Dropship's not actually moving out, just more radiates going down.
I need some more fire bats. And we see that TADDE has 12 lings in the main, just waiting for the dropships to arrive.
Yeah, this looks a little bit rough here. Zerg is managed to bust through the front a little bit. Mazer got to be a little more careful, trying to keep the macro up, but there's not that many barracks back at home, well, all things considered. Dropship is not going that great. Those lings were completely prepared. Doesn't lose everything, but still did not go well pulling back home now and lost all the bunkers at the front.
Yeah, that was completely denied dropship. These lurkers catching some purpose here, purchase at the SCVs. And now Spire is up, so TADDE has the potential to make some Scourge to deal with these vessels.
I mean, at this point though, as Mazer, like you just gotta survive. Like TADDE's still on 2 base. Like you've been aggressive with these dropships. Like if you keep yourself in a good spot, keep building up these vessels, I think you're looking okay. You gotta reclaim this natural, but you got this third, and Zerg hasn't tried to take theirs yet. That's all you're really trying to focus on here. Who can actually kill the Lurker?
Mazer is actually going for a 4th base before TADDE is getting the 3rd.
Come on, kill that Lurker. He's at 3 health. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, that hurts my whole. That hurts everything. Ooh, and the Hydras themselves actually helping. One of the dropships goes down. Now has the weapons to fight these things. Lifting off will not save you against the Hydras. So loses the natural, but is floating that CC to that 3rd base, like you're saying. But there's no ramp to help defend this. Like you still have to be very concerned that if defilers come through, maybe you can bust through again on the production. This could be pretty dangerous.
And I would really love to see like at least 1 tank, so that you can kill at least some of these lurkers without having to use Irradiate. Irradiate is clearly busted, but you still you still need to preserve it a bit because at some point you'll get a defiler up and reach here and throw in a swarm and maybe. And I mean, this is a lot of lurkers, and you can't really trade favorably with into the choke.
Yeah, Mazer even agree with you in the chat. Should have had a tank, but unfortunately the factory's floating, so then you have the machine shop that will be a bit down the ways, but you know, something to consider when the spot happens. Still, Drone does find this base over at that left side. It looks like they were going to expand there and be like, what the fuck? Why is all this? So here come a bunch of hiders moving off to that left side. They're going to put pressure there. There was 2 barracks, so you know, maybe you build a bunker, you can help defend that a little bit. But it does ease pressure at the main and natural. Maybe you can reclaim this a little bit. You can get the pressure off, the production being a problem, but you do not want to lose all this stuff over the 9 o'clock. It's a big investment at this point.
Yeah. Lurkers finishing up, but radiate goes off and the unirradiated one gets sniped. Seems like 8 o'clock gets denied, and now we are at practically pure Hydra from TADDE here, trying to catch the fleeing SCVs. And if this SCVs reaches the High Ground Expo, it exposes the High Ground Expo, so
yeah,
no TADDE.
He saw it. He saw it, so TADDE knows about this now too. Oh no.
So the situation is looking a bit dire, but Mazer do still have this enormous vessel cloud, which is always good, of course. Seems like Marines and SCVs are working for the hold. Will be troublesome if these 2 lurker eggs finish, and I do not see these 2 Marines out DPSing them. Of course, irradiates.
Yeah.
The kill command kill.
Scourge go through. C2 dropship out here, but here they come. Are they going to be able to kill too many vessels?
No.
Overkill. Big overkill, unfortunately. The main has mined out for Mazer. He is running on fumes as far as money goes. He needs to hold this other base so badly. Like, he's got to move out. He's got to get something done. A lot of SCVs are now long-distance mining at this point, which is not what you're looking for. Scans going down. Where can Mazer attack? He scanned all these, like, maybe you expand here? No, he didn't. TADDE's still on 2 base. He doesn't care.
Now a third is coming up. I wouldn't have mind seeing that a bit earlier, personally. But now we also see a second one, a 4th base coming up from TADDE at the mineral only at 6. Mazer at 2 upgrades, which is the clear advantage at this point. But lurkers are still lurkers at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, just having the armor with your bios, they can take a 3rd lurker shot alone is well worth it.
Yeah, and getting when it takes like 160 hits to kill something for your units, getting 1 more damage is always appreciated as well.
I mean, where do you go from here, though, as Mazer? Like, you gotta... Do you fly your CC over to this natural, or are you just gonna long-distance mine? Is that, like... That can't be the long-term plan. Like, you gotta have, like, what is your next move? Because
actually, Mazer has a 3rd command center.
Where is it, though? Oh,
it's...
he hasn't moved it yet. Okay.
So... If Mazer is able to stabilize here, that will a bit depend on these defilers coming. Another dropship moving.
There's 2, man. Look at the bottom as well. Another one looking for another base, which it's not going to find the one he's really expecting, and it got revealed to some units. But here's the move forward. There is a lurker in the main trying to help defend it, going for the Hydra Den. Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, slow down these lurkers.
You take what you get.
Take what you get. Sure.
Taking down the defiler mount is a good one. So The fighter now is ramping up to kill the vessels here to ruin the fighter party.
Yeah, still damage happening in the main though. It hasn't been too much to clear us up, so we're gonna work on some drones, but we're at the base. Nice D matrix on a Ling. Oh no.
Killer canines.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. What if you had a Ling and it had like 150 health?
The medic here, MVP.
Yeah, D matrix the medic. Like that's the thing that'll never die.
Yeah. So looks like this third will go down, but at the same time, Mazer has a second command center and can retake the natural and the dropship.
Yeah, but I mean, also like, look at the situation we're in. Look at the supply. Even though like some is tied in a dropship that's trapped, like so much damage is going down, and like TADDE, like okay, they took the 6. They didn't like start mining it. They're actually gonna tap out of this game, and okay, sure.
No, very back and forth. Very back and forth game.
Yeah, so we're going to butter again. Another set going to a game 3, and we're seeing a whole lot of like big aggressive moves where the other player just having a little bit of trouble with the defense all night long. So very interesting so far. I seen the blind in the chat. You missed it, man. We had an infested command center. The guy left like 2 seconds before they got to use the infested turrets. Such a bad sport.
But yeah, it's I really like how the players we've seen tonight, they are often very much committing to their idea that they have. They like they see this potential line of going for the game and then just commit hardcore to it, and it creates for very back and forth and somewhat scrappy games.
Oh, thank God it's top versus bottom. I'm not casting dark brown versus black. In the top right, in the blue Zerg, it's TADDE. In the bottom right, in the red Terran, it's Mazer. Yeah, no, I'm happy to see. I don't know, like maybe like tier 1's at like that perfect like level of like I got this idea, I'm gonna do this idea. Like I haven't been fully shown why it's bad yet. You know, maybe as you moved up to tier 0, or you know, as you're just playing more, you know, maybe that stops happening as much. But at the moment, like everything's been looking good between our players. Exciting back and forth games. I don't know, like if it's just maybe the scouting info, where it's like some people maybe not reacting or respecting some of these things as much as they should, has been the biggest problem we've seen tonight. But you know, that could turn around very easily.
For sure. And I do like that we're getting a lot of game freeze. In the prior casts I've been part of, it's been a lot of not showing the last map.
Well, I mean, now that we're in the semifinals, where it's not like the lowest seeds making the playoffs, and I think the matches were kind of a little more one-sided than I would like, but you know, first round playoffs is planned to happen. At this point, these guys are all pretty good, got the work in throughout the CPL season, working with the coaches and improving, so things going a little bit better. Looks like TADDE got a different plan this game, no 9-pool shenanigans. Looking like we're going to see a hatchery first. Mazer getting the barracks and depot up at the wall. We'll see what they want to do behind this.
Yeah, I wonder if we will see. I think we got a Rax expand in the first game as a reaction to the 12 hatch. I wonder if we'll get again Rax CC, Rax Gas Factory.
Well, I just hope we don't see that incredibly fast starport stuff that didn't really pan out, or you know, maybe something just was by Mazer just like mistimed a little bit. So, you know, we'll see where things go from here. We are looking like we're going to see some 2-hatch play again from TADDE, which we have seen them just do it and just throw down the hydrogen immediately. We'll see if they try to get the scout out this time. Mazer just walking away, not trying to stay in the main, not trying to see what's going on. Interesting.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, maybe scouting to see if there's a really fast third base, free hatch third base situation. Knowing that with the wall, there's but this is super risky. If TADDE would have opened 6. No, but the pool is kinda not done yet.
Well, I mean, Mazer did go in enough to see the hatchery timing, like saw it. It just left and hang around afterwards, but saw the pool timing. I think realized that things were good, so he got to re-maneuver the barracks. Didn't even waste time making that first Marine. I'm a little surprised though. TADDE just seeing is like, oh, you want to CC? I'm good. Just left. Like save the drone. Little surprised.
Yeah, maybe this is a very timed out comeback with the SCV to see how many lings are being hatched.
Yeah, I think that's something we've been seeing all night. A lot of people, it's like they get the SCV in the main, they hide it for a little bit, and it's like, oh, I know when I need to move in. Like here's the critical time. We've seen a lot of good like timing for that to get like the really important early scouting info. Just sometimes there's been a little bit of curveball reactions, maybe not as good as you'd see. Lair is pretty far done. No hydrogen started yet, so it looks like we are going to see some mutaplay.
Yeah.
And actually a slowdown on the Marine production from Mazer wants to get some more things up. eBay and Academy start at the same time, still only on one barracks as well. So, taking a page out of Amazon's book, let's get the upgrades going. We're not worried about 2 Racks Academy instead. Which, I mean, it worked out for Amazon, but we'll see if Mazer follows suit.
Yeah, it's interesting since it's not continuous Marine production. No second barracks added as of yet. I mean, maybe you want to start for +1 and the Stim and Vanya out of the barracks.
Oh no, Mazer didn't see the Spire. He didn't see it.
But maybe can still conclude. A factory coming up.
Yeah. So what we were seeing in that first game, I think it ended up being like 2 racks and then the fast factory and then going into a fast starport, which, like you said, it didn't really pan out the way. But it's like, you're not producing Marines right now. Like you saw this too. Like this feels scary to me. But the eBay is done. You can start making turrets whenever. Spire's not done yet. Hopefully you got that good timing. We'll see if they make the Academy's done, but no scanners being made. No, just
and eBay is done, but no +1 is started. But we're getting Stim, so it's not like a delayed mech situation.
Right, but it's like, how many units do you have? Because you only had 1 barrack that you weren't even making out of the entire time. Like, you don't have that many Marines, and you can't afford to make that like 2nd, 3rd medic either. So this feels dangerous. Like, you gotta see these turrets being made. Looks like they are gonna start going up here. Well, just the 2 at least. I'm concerned. I'm not even gonna try to hide. I'm concerned right now for Terran.
Yeah, but it seems like TADDE prioritized getting the 3rd started over Muter production, which kind of makes it less scary for Mazer, since now enough time will be up to get these additional turrets up. There's 3 at the natural, 4 in the main. 1 at the choke, which I mean, if TADDE would have prioritized getting the initial 6 mutas out, they would already be in the main, I think.
And scans the main, sees nothing. Knowing his love for dropships, he's probably thrilled about that as the star war goes up. But mutas are on the map, and he doesn't know where they are or how many, unfortunately. Getting reinforced, going to have a group of at least 7 for the moment. And the +1 air weapon's about halfway done at this point. Still buying time for these Marine upgrades to kick in. More barracks being added now, so a little more production will be available, but still not that much. It's a good amount of turrets, though. Here comes the micro, but through 3 turrets, do you even want to try this?
3 turrets are on the high round of what would be considered worth it in terms of trying to snipe SCVs, maybe 1, but probably don't want to push it, especially if you don't know if there are like Marines waiting in the back there behind.
Well, I mean, from the top side at least, you're not taking damage from all 3 all the time, and we're up to 11 mutas now. +1's not done just yet. Stim goes forward, but the Marines got to move here. That might be able to pick some off if they go behind the minerals. So Micro's actually going pretty good so far, all things considered, through all this defense. And Reinforce is going to move across the map as well. Evo Chamber about done. That +1's going to finish very soon as well.
Mm. Yeah, +1 will seems to time up similarly for both players. Dropship start again. I'm not super fond of dropship first against Mutalisks. I think it feels very risky since you, as Zerg, will want to prod around and try to find holes. It feels like it will be hard to sneak it out, and with the late additional barracks, but I do like the third barracks is going up in this game. Like 8 Marines is a lot of Marines if you only have 9.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but load up the dropship. He does this at the wrong time. We saw it happen in game 1 when this dropship moved out. It's like the attack K was like, oh shit, I can't defend this.
But it seems like it's a similar situation here. TADDE has 10 Mutalisks and 300 million 83 links. I think I got that one right.
It's a lot of links. I'm not going to say you're wrong. There was scans to make sure the path for the dropship was clear, but that means everything's out here. TADDE poking around with these mutas. Can he find a window to get something done? Lots of turns being made, and dropship being unloaded in the main, out of sight. He's going to do some big damage here. Sim's going to run forward, kills the muta as it pops through. Drones immediately get pulled, but still is a massacre. So much damage being done to TADDE's economy.
Yeah. And I actually think TADDE should just base trade here and just go with everything.
He lost all the mutas in the main, too many turrets. Unfortunately, did a lot of damage, and that's going to be enough. Mazer is going to take game 3. I think it's just Terran, man. It's been Terran today.
Yeah. Personally, I think had TADDE just committed all the mutas and all the links to the natural, I think that amount of links would have killed the low amount of Marines that were at the natural. And I think as Zerg you're okay to trade your main and natural for their main and natural while keeping your third. It's a bit like in chess you can trade your queen and rook for queen and rook if you have one more pawn, I guess.
Damn, you're bringing in the chess references. All right. Fair enough. We got a couple more series heading your way, but we're going to take a quick break to get some water, hit the restroom, all that kind of stuff. We're going to be back in like 3 minutes, so you guys stick tight. We got 2 more sets heading your way. EAROB and AZHI DAHAKI will be next, but we'll see you guys shortly.
Yes.
right, we're back from our little break. Like I said, we got 2 more sets ready for you, and I've been watching all this Terran victory nonsense. Now it's Protoss's turn. We got a PvP, so they have to win. They have to. This is a draw, which I'll cry.
A draw would be amazing, though.
Yep, we got EAROB for less attack. We got AZHI DAHAKI for creative mechanics, moving to our 4th set of the night. We'll get into this one. Alright, back on Polypoid in the top right in the blue. Well, hold up. Well, I don't know. I have it where AZHI DAHAKI is the blue. You gotta. I don't know what shift tab I'm on. You gotta figure it out. They both
I'm on the same wavelength as of now.
Alright, AZHI DAHAKI is the blue Protoss in the top right. EAROB CPL is the red Protoss in the top left. The matchup of kings, they picked the colors to make me have some real fun.
Keeping it spicy.
Yeah, that's fun. Oh, but I love this matchup. I know a lot of people that don't play Protoss, maybe not the biggest fans, so, maybe we'll try to convert you if you feel that way.
Personally, I'm a big fan of pros versus pros. Actually.
See, this is why everyone loves you so much. Like, you're just an agreeable guy. And you see the best in everything. It's a good mirror. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, I like all mirrors quite a lot. It's like...
Alright, 2 out of 3 good. That's good. That's fine.
I mean, at the start of the game you have exactly the same things. It's like the ultimate test of skill. I do like it.
Well, I think a lot of people that don't like PvP, especially if you play Protoss and you don't like PvP, I think it feels random. But you can mitigate a lot of that, and it's not as, like, if you think about it a little bit more, it's not as random as it looks. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Now we do have, looks like maybe a small divergence in the build. So we got EAROB going with the classic, Gate into Assimilator. I think AZHI DAHAKI doing the same just slightly later. Never mind, I started my point and it did not make sense. That's fine. It was bound to happen.
But we get the cross spawn scout from AZHI DAHAKI. And we get the first scout from EAROB, which is always the best opener in any mirror matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I do like AZHI DAHAKI was, respecting. It's like, maybe a proxy. Maybe I need to, know. So it feels reasonable to go for that, but he's going to get the last scout. Unfortunate, not going to get the info you're looking for, but I mean, with these kind of builds, if you're unsure what's happening, you can just play it safe. You got the first Zealot here. No core being made just yet. There we go, on the way for both sides. Actually, both sides made an initial Zealot as well, so playing it safe in game 1. No one wants to take any kind of big risks. We'll see where they go from here. I would not be surprised if it ends up just being 2-gate Robo, get your Reavers, and even then there's a lot of variation that could happen, but we'll see what these guys like to do.
Yeah, I think especially if you open the gate core in Protoss, the only thing that is really troublesome to hold would be a committed center 9-9 gate into batteries and stuff in your main. That's even if you're really good at microing, it can be hard situation to get out of. And if this is the first game, then you kinda don't know what to expect of your opponent. And in this matchup also, I think many would like to take a more gimmicky route, just because, as you said earlier, that it's not everyone's favorite matchup.
Yeah, already small changes though. We see fast Robo from EAROB, actually delaying the Goon range to get it so much quicker. While AZHI DAHAKI get in the range, nothing too unusual, expecting to see some gateways behind this as well. And we've seen a very slow move out. This never really works out too great, especially when it's mostly Zealots, because odds are your opponent can match whatever you're producing as well, and obviously that's the case. But still, if you can get control of that low ground outside the natural, it makes it very difficult for EAROB to move down. We'll see where it is though. EAROB's Robo nearing completion, range significantly far behind, but if he wants to go for those fast Reavers, we'll have access to them.
Yeah, and as long as you don't try to take a fight on the open ground, if you have a high ground advantage, not having range isn't that much of a deal. I do think this army, this push here from AZHI, was more of a scout army, like trying to get a grip on how many gateways, how fast is the tech. Did we cut something in favor of dragoons? Or is there an expand up, for example? Because I don't think you actually think that you can outproduce with just one gateway.
Yeah, you can usually just leave. That's why I was a little leery when it's mostly zealots. That's the thing that can't leave. Like if there's goons, like they can chase you down and kind of get some damage in. Goons versus goons, you can just walk away and be really confident here. We did see support bay before shuttle, so I wouldn't be surprised if EAROB goes for a quick nexus and just flat reaver, no shuttle, just for extra muscle, committing to the defense to get the expansion up.
That makes sense. Maybe getting the nexus, and as the second reaver pops out, you have a shuttle and ready for do a 2 reaver type timing.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see where it ends up being. See a question in the chat about the league. Yes, there is coaching. We do got coaches that help out. Also, you're on a team with people better than you, as you practice together. There's definitely resources. You're not just kind of stuck learning on your own. So it's one of the best things about CPL. Why a lot of people in it stay in it. Like they don't just do one season and be like, I learned what I needed, and then they leave. You get a lot of people that hang around for quite a amount of time.
Yeah, and the more seasoned players generally help newer players prepare for their sets, and it's a bit of a trickle down. The ones who learn a lot, they teach others, and so on.
Yeah, now look at what we're seeing here. AZHI DAHAKI, the observer's going to come in, see a reaver is done with no shuttle, sees a nexus halfway done at this point, so they're taking their own nexus, but they can see it's a little behind. AZHI DAHAKI, though, knowing there's no shuttle, maybe there's an opportunity to get something done, going to move out. EAROB's observer will see the move out here. There's a decent amount of units, and you also get that pylon that kind of choke things up and make it annoying. Building a shield battery as well. It's just going to be about that reaver placement. Where do you put that where it's not going to get sniped down? Because it's so important to keep that alive. If AZHI DAHAKI commits his attack, trying to chase that reaver, and can't get it killed, he's going to lose everything. It's going to be so bad. But here we go. Zealots aren't here just yet. Going to move forward. That shield battery has finished. The reaver has not been involved in the fight just yet. Got to start poking forward. AZHI DAHAKI, take the damage you can get. Just do not overcommit.
Did Obs see the reaver?
I believe so. Yeah, I mean, he definitely saw when it fired at the goon, so I'm pretty sure he saw the reaver when he saw the nexus being made.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, a second reaver here would make a bust attempt significantly harder. Yeah, since 2 reavers one-shot the goon.
Yeah, you do have to be careful, though, because the longer you wait, once that shuttle hits the board, this gets so much more difficult. So you got to make a decision. Are you going to try it now, or are you never going to try it? Because I feel like if you wait and that shuttle hits the board, it's going to be very complicated. AZHI DAHAKI skipping reavers entirely, going for a citadel, so maybe going to rush towards storm. Just try to make sure Europe can't move out in the meantime, because you actually see, even though the nexus was fast for EAROB, he's actually down workers.
Yeah. Indeed. I wonder why.
EAROB cut a couple of probes at some points to accelerate things. He cut probes to get that robo up a little bit faster. I think he might have done it a little bit too just to keep that goon production up, because on one gateway you cannot stop producing goons. Otherwise you can be in real trouble against 3 gate observer if they don't want to get the nexus or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. And also getting this additional gateways up.
Where's that? There we go. Temple Archive's on the way. Reaver's gonna start poking forward. They want AZHI to kind of get out of here, man. Give me some space to breathe.
Yeah. And the Obs sniping game is on as well. Think saw the little movement on the hill, but the greasy son of a got out. Anyway.
An observer is not a greasy son of a man. Ooh, big commitment. Gonna move up the ramp, so has to fight up the high ground. But there's a little flanking group here. Gonna move forward. Can they do anything to the Reavers? No, taking big damage. But the Reavers stay alive, so does the shuttles. And you can actually see AZHI DAHAKI got the worst end of that. The contain is over, and EAROB can start moving forward. With 2 Reavers in the shuttle, he can really kind of put some pressure on. look at this army from AZHI, so out of position here. What's going to be the plan to keep this attack from just killing this natural?
Yeah, this looked like a really strong timing. At first I was thinking that the two rivers were out of position and they should be with the main army, but turns out the EAROB is a lot better at Protoss vs Protoss than I am. They're perfectly placed for dealing with a flank group.
Yeah, what you see, trying to come from the bottom side. Reavers are here. Shuttle's still alive. Big damage. 2 4-guns go down immediately. There's no real defense or anything to slow down the attack at the natural. AZHI is so split up. Look at that supply difference. 20 supply. This army is also a lot more potent. He got that Templar Archives, but no Templar, no Storm, no Speed Zealots just yet. Speed about to finish, but no Zealots on the field. Oh. And this is just going to be too much muscle. I don't know how AZHI will actually defend this.
I think AZHI is doing a really good job with these two-pronged attacks, trying to like split up EAROB's army and get some work in. But I think this is too much Protoss for Protoss. And seems like seems like AZHI agrees.
Quick first game for EAROB, showing the power of Reavers. And that's kind of what I was saying early on, when it's like, if you're unsure what to do, you just get your Robo, get your Reavers. It'll kind of carry you through a little bit of everything. When you do something that's not Reavers, you can get yourself in a bad spot pretty easily. You can see it right there. Just the contain looked good, but the moment he got split up, EAROB pounced and took that game pretty quickly.
Yeah, Reavers can be quite decisive forces. If they get sniped, then that's good for the opponent, but as long as they are alive, they can get some serious work done very quickly.
Okay, well, if you want to be a little more aggressive, this is the map you can do it on. No ramp, small distance. This is PvP, can get real fun on Sylphid. We're in game 2. In the bottom left in the white Protoss, we got EAROB. In the bottom right in the red Protoss, DAHAKI. Now,
yeah,
I know a lot of people will do whatever they want to do. I like 3-gate Goon. No ramps, real aggressive. You can contain the natural, and then you can take your own expansion behind it, catch up with tech later. Like, you just go 3-gate Robo, get your observers, go into the Reavers later. I think like that early pressure when there's no ramp to help you defend, it could be a nightmare to defend if you try to be even the slightest bit greedy.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like going heavy on gateway can be really nice on this one because the nats are very assailable. Like you're kind of clumped up in there with your little army, and but you still have like a quite wide choke to get in from. So if your units have like the same range, it can be very favorable for the aggressor, I feel.
Oh.
Interesting scouting pattern here from DAHAKI. Are we getting a proxy? Or is it a misclick?
I hope it's not a misclick, but it looks like one. The way that moved, it definitely kind of looks like one. He's stopping at the ramp. We'll see. Now, this is actually also interesting that EAROB hasn't scouted yet. Didn't want to go on the pylon. He's waiting a little bit. Actually, a gateway is done and waiting for the gas. So, you know, slight greed, going to be a little more economic. And AZHI's going to be able to move through. Fortunately, gets the first scout. So even though things got delayed a little bit, he's still getting info faster than the opponent.
Yeah. Also, obviously, on this map, since it's just 3 players, you can also go for like proxy gates or a 2-gate build and do like pylons in the mineral line to block workers or even steal gas. That type of openers can also be done.
Yeah, but these are honorable Protosses. We don't all just proxy gate.
Fair enough.
This is honorable play we're seeing here. Slight deviations in the build so far. EAROB making a first zealot. DAHAKI did not, so he's actually kind of being a little bit greedier. Gonna get that core up. You know, we'll see if it ends up being for extra gateways or he just wants to get the Robo a little faster. Hopefully, just a little.
Goon range, maybe. Yeah, start goon range first.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually not the advantage you really want it to be. I personally always think getting the goon is better than getting the range first, because you know you're gonna have to build them up, and unless you're building a lot of gateways, like that idle time on the gateway. The range only helps once it's done. It doesn't do anything until then, right?
Yeah.
You see, he's a little bit ahead, but just, that's gonna be such a small window to exploit. We'll see if he manages to do it though. That'd be really cool. Yeah, like that perfect timing attack where it's like, ooh, I'm in there. Just be very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, goon range makes a huge difference in goon versus goon battles, and also when you're like trying to kite zealots while still being out of range of the enemy goons. It's a bit like Zerglings with Ling speed in Ling versus Ling battles. It's like a bit, how to say.
It makes more of a difference than you think it does. Like if you refer it on paper, it's like, oh well, like Lings to get up to Lings a little faster. Like, so why would that be so good? Like they're the same units. Like, no, not really. No. Very different.
It's a bit less tangible. Like, what is the difference really? Oh, it's one more range, but it can make the world of difference, really.
Yeah.
And we see we see free gate follow up here, so seems like AZHI DAHAKI will go for like a bit of a goon timing.
Yeah, and especially since AZHI skipped the Robo, while EAROB did not. EAROB playing a little safer. He's getting 3 gates his own, but with the Robo, he's going to be able to get the Observer, not lose the DTs, if that was what were happening here. AZHI just saying, whatever, I don't care. And he's not going to get punished for it, which does give him a little more punch. He should have a little more goons to play with. And you can see, as he moves out, couple more probes, a little more supply. He's going to have that one extra round, maybe a little faster. And all he has to do is push the opponent back a little bit. Then he can take the expansion themselves or try to force it through. Just, you know, you gotta be careful. First two are gonna go up, and defender's advantage at the moment will still help out.
Yeah. Won't really see it seems like we'll get 5 goons versus 4 goons and a zealot. But there are 3 more goons in production here, so we'll have to strike while the iron is hot here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great number though, because like 4 goons like doesn't do enough. 5 goons like perfectly, I think, does 2-shot. I know 6 definitely does. Shield recharge can make things a little bit weird, but you see the defender's advantage. EAROB's going to have some stuff going through. The Zealot really helping out here. First units do start falling, but there's more units for EAROB.
Need to focus fire.
Spot. This is bad. This is bad.
Oh yeah, and not even overshotting. What a god.
Yeah, this is considering now you have the same amount of gateway production. EAROB did catch up on workers during that whole time, so everything got evened up here. But EAROB has a Robo done, has access to observers, and working towards their robotic support base. So where's the advantage for AZHI DAHAKI? Like, he doesn't produce more, and now he's significantly behind tech. Neither player started a Robo, and as long as EAROB doesn't overcommit, which is super easy to do in this spot, you think he did so much damage. Defender's advantage is very real, though, with all these gateways able to produce. This observer will let him know exactly what he needs to do, though.
Yeah. I mean, that was exquisitely done by EAROB. Like, perfectly timing the shots, not overshooting the goons, focus firing.
And look,
that was beautiful.
We're getting the same thing we saw in game 1. We're getting the Reaver, but no shuttle, just wants the muscle for the defense, and he's saving up money. He's going to start that Nexus. AZHI DAHAKI, this is the window, though. He has more goons, because all that had to get stopped as the Reaver pops out. He's not going to have Scarabs right away, so there's a very slim margin right here. Maybe if AZHI strikes right now, but he's waiting for his Citadel to finish, so if he's waiting for more tech, it's going to be a bit of time before that happens. Observer in the main sees what's going on. Gonna start poking forward at that pylon. That's buying a lot of time for EAROB to get that Reaver done and in here. Finally, the fight breaks out. Will AZHI have enough focus fire to kind of do the damage they need to do? So far, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, pylon is tanking a lot of shots, and now the first Scarab is done. Lands right on. There we go. Pylon soaking up a lot of shots, another Scarab, another goon dead.
Yeah, and EAROB, again, not overcommitting, keeping it back, letting things build up, no big deal. Not even making second Reaver, focusing on goons right now because he knows he needs that. Like, the Reaver, one Reaver is going to be enough to help defend this. AZHI DAHAKI did get a Nexus behind this, so it's not like the game's like in a terrible spot here. The Nexus for EAROB is a little bit more forward, but the supplies are still pretty even. Oh, the Reaver's moving pretty far forward.
Oh.
AZHI's going to go and dive for it. Is he going to be able to get it? He does.
Oh. Yeah. And didn't get another Scarab buff. So now we have a 10 goon versus 5 goon situation. Okay, 7 goons now. But there are a lot of bruised goons in here, which can be making a difference.
Yeah, but this is a great spot. See what EAROB did? We went back into the main. There's a giant choke point now. He doesn't even have to go crazy. He can just keep that contain up. It makes it very hard to walk through. EAROB also didn't build Reavers during that fight. Working on another one right now. Loses the Nexus. AZHI, like, he has a Nexus. He doesn't have to commit here. He even went for Templar tech, so he's ahead on tech right now. He can just, you know, chill out, no big deal. Even get a row zone to get some observers to play with. But, like, AZHI did everything you need to. Just keep it contained. You don't have to go crazy. I don't like him fully retreating here. I mean, you still got a big advantage, but I don't like the full retreat. It's unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, at one point, when the Reaver comes out, you need to back off, and then you might lose more than you wish you did. But I agree with you. I definitely think in most cases you'll trade favorably if you keep the contain. And you'll definitely delay this Nexus a bit more, which will accentuate your economic advantage as is. Will we get the Dark Templar drop?
Maybe. It seems like that might be the play here. The Robo is here, the Observatory just getting started now, so... You know, EAROB sees, like, there's no detection, has a little bit of window, but AZHI kept producing goons, has a decent force moving forward here. DT's on the map, no detection. Are they going to try to fight the armor or go straight for probes? And
I think Dark Templar can kill probes without it making an alert, but
absolutely.
AZHI, DAHAKI, not reacting yet. I thought when he moved back that saw the invisible movement. And now the probe observer is starting.
Yeah, we also revealed he's hitting the Nexus, but so many probes have already been killed, EAROB. That's kind of the damage he needed to do to get back in this game. AZHI is starting Storm, so, you know, they're going to have some access to strong stuff, but this is taking a lot of damage here. Far more than you can afford to, unfortunately. Oh, if you can kill that Templar, that'd be so good. Can you kill that
Reaver plus Templar in the shuttle.
Oh, he got it. He got it. Let's go.
Ooh.
Oh, he didn't kill the DT. He killed an Observer. He didn't kill the DT in the main. More damage.
Oh. 15 damage kill now. All the probes will want to transfer to the natural, and then we'll get the shuttle with the Reaver swiping in. Oh, that can be so juicy. Oh.
I think you gotta be careful. Now, DAHAKI took so much damage. I think he's making the right call here. You have to just attack. Like, you do not try to make this a real game anymore.
Yeah.
So these units from EAROB, there's a lot of supply tied up into not defending the main. It is going to do more probe damage, though. DAHAKI, go for the attack. Do not turn around. You have to try to make this happen.
Yeah, I think EAROB needs like 2 shield batteries at natural here.
He's got no Reavers, no splash damage. Lots of goons. Not in the greatest formation I've ever seen. DAHAKI, though, rushing on in. There's the pylon to help out with the defense as well. Oh, there is one Reaver in the back. That's good. That's going to help out a lot. EAROB did have the better focus fire in the fights before. We'll see if this is going to be enough to go through. There's only one Zealot. That Reaver unharassed. Going to do some big damage, but the goons are falling quickly for EAROB. DAHAKI has got enough. He's going to be able to get through. Still ignoring the Reaver. I don't know.
Oh. And that was a juicy Scarab. Second one, oh, and the probe's doing some work here. I think this was a hold.
That Reaver did too much, man. This DAHAKI got such an advantage. They did everything right, and then just like lacking the observers for a little too long. Took way too much damage. This is painful. This is painful to see.
Yeah. It was a nice read from EAROB, seeing how DAHAKI just skimped on the observer for so long, and I mean the observer was alive in the base. so you know it wasn't there were no detection there.
Yeah,
Man, those Dark Templars and the drops, brutal.
Yeah, I mean the drop was just like a little more overkill too, but if AZHI DAHAKI, this is like the problem he ran into when he was like, I'm just not gonna. I got gateways, no robo, no observers. Like, he got punished eventually because he just delayed it for too long, unfortunately, which it happens to the best of us. But that does mean EAROB gets the first 2-0 of the night, puts another one on the board for Let's Attack. Now the score's 6-2. Let's Attack still has quite the lead. We got one more set for the night, so can Korea keep making it a little closer, or is this going to be a pretty sizable lead going into the last 2 sets that we're going to have to cast later? I don't know. TBD to finish it out. We're going to see. HAVIOR for Let's Attack, and we got IRK Kaz for the Korean Mechanics. Back in Poly Point, in the bottom right, in the white Terran, it's HAVIOR. In the top left, in the orange Zerg, it's Kaz.
I'm very much looking forward to this set. I know I've said it multiple times, but it's been a good batch of matchups tonight. Kaz, I think, was in my first season of CPL, CPL 5. And HAVIOR I've kept an eye on. And I remember him doing really well in the last King of the Tier.
Yeah, from when they joined, I think they only joined a couple seasons ago. Like, they definitely improved pretty quickly, so excited to see them. I think if I remember Kaz's ZVT correctly, he, not all the time, but he is willing to do that big drone turtle style and be just the biggest pain in the ass. So we might see a different style of matchup here. See if that ends up being what we're gonna go for. But I think he does tend to play Mutas, and I think he doesn't like going for the turtle, kind of building up to the second main and just making life a nightmare for the Terran player.
Yeah. And HAVIOR, from what I've seen, plays often just like very, very solid, strong macro plays. So you see what will be in store for this set.
Yeah.
Will be very interesting.
Hatchery first for Zerg to start things off. Nothing unusual there. I feel like we never see it anymore, but I always kind of want to see that early gas from the Terran. You know, a little 1v1, maybe a little Goliath build. I love bioplay, but I liked when there was a variety. I feel like I don't see that anymore. Not nearly.
Yeah, it's been a lot of standard bioplay this season, I feel, and not as much mech. It's been some, and there's been a lot less 1v1s this season, I feel, compared to last season.
Ooh, look at this small adjustment. Gas before pool from Kaz.
Oh, so that means we're getting lair plus link speed at the same time.
Is that something you think's good? Because doesn't that kind of cut into your economy a little bit more than it's like worth? Because you don't want to be making that many links to begin with, or is it just kind of a safety play?
It's definitely a more aggressive build, which will put you at a situation where you need to get some work done, or else you'll be quite behind. I think it was first seen in like ASL 6, Effort versus Flash, where Effort countered Flash 1-1-1 build by getting gas before, and thus had a very, very fast link speed while still having a normal lair timing, which kind of masked that he got link speed so fast.
Yeah, but I mean, like you were just saying, this for 1-1-1 when, you know, the Terra Tech's so quick, they don't have as much army on the ground. It makes more sense in a situation like that. Ooh, don't lose that SCV. Takes so much damage almost immediately. Kaz did not make a lot of links to back this up, but Lair's on the way. The choice of tech not revealed just yet. HAVIOR, though, 2 racks, like normal 2 racks, getting gas. They were just see some 2 racks Academy, nothing crazy. Which, given the amount of TVZs we've seen tonight, this is the first time I think we're actually seeing this.
Yeah. The standard 2 racks Academy. And it wasn't the opener I expected it to be from Kaz, because this link speed was started a lot later. So I'm not sure.
I mean, it's still a very fast lair, though. Yeah, you're gonna gas up. You're building up a little bit more as well. So if you are gonna go for mutas, maybe that lets you get the upgrade without cutting into the production a little bit. I'm not really sure how all that kind of works out.
Yeah, could be, could be.
Academy first, not eBay. So HAVIOR, like you're saying, solid play. This is like buy the book stuff. But this is gonna be, this is what you want to be doing against some 2-hatch muta. Like everything we're seeing from HAVIOR is exactly what we're looking for. So we're gonna see if Kaz got the muta micro he needs to kind of use the advantage. We've seen Zerg struggle a little bit tonight with that. So hopefully this goes a little bit better here. Stim has been started, no eBay yet, but you don't need it just yet as long as you got the turrets in time for the mutas. So you find delaying it. And that cross spawn does buy you time. And here's that third expansion up in another main. Like I was saying, Kaz likes being annoying sometimes, so we'll see if he transitions into that fully.
Yeah. And we're getting the Spire as predicted a bit here, and still don't see. Yeah, now eBay is coming up also from HAVIOR. I did like the move here that HAVIOR was keeping the Marines a bit on the ramp, kinda to a little bit mask the amount of Marines that was available for the move out.
Yeah, those things are bad. A couple lanes do sneak through. Don't know if they want to run and try to get the damage or, you know, just being annoying, buying time for this move out here. HAVIOR isn't going to go straight across the map, which means mutas are on the way, buying a little bit of time, but only one sunken. Kaz not really worried about the threat of the damage for this move out here. HAVIOR did scan both bases, knows exactly what's going on, and gonna keep going forward, and there's that +1 air weapons, making use of some of that extra gas.
Yeah. And I actually do like the only one sunken. Since it's cross position, you have ample time to get your mutalisks out and kind of deal with this relatively small army. So I do like that. I think you don't need to overcommit, especially since you're kind of low on drones.
Ooh, the Marines get caught split up here. Kaz has an opportunity to get some free kills, but HAVIOR is trying to reconsolidate everything, not go too crazy. That third base is up undetected at the moment. More mutas in production, real big investment on these mutas, going to keep focusing on it. Sim's going to try to chase him down, not get too much damage done. So far, so good for Kaz.
Yeah, sniping off some straggling Marines and doing it completely right here. You want to kind of like tussle with the Marine force from the backside, so you don't like retreat in the direction of where Terran will want to move with bio.
So they're a little unfortunate, but this is now a pretty scary flock. 10 mutas, gonna go back to a wall, try to do the micro. Loses one, still trying to stem. The micro a lot better than what we've seen for the rest of the night. The Marines gotta be careful not to overchase too far from the medics. Big damage here. They keep staying by the walls and making things a little bit easier here. I think it's gonna be enough to clean this up, and HAVIOR's got to reconsolidate their units.
Yeah, so that means the third will get up safely for Kaz, and Kaz will be able to transition to whatever Kaz wants to transition to. If it's Queen's Nest plus an Evo Chamber, or if it's Queen's Nest plus a Hydroden, or Hydroden and Evolution Chamber, or not transition at all and just commit fully to these mutalisks.
I think either way, I like seeing the Evo Chamber, planning to get the armor. You know, help with the Defilers later if you want to go that way, but it leaves Ultras an option. Regardless if you want to go, I think if you might want to go, you gotta kind of invest in it. Buying some good micro here to kill some of these turrets and be annoying, just buying time. These Marines have to stay back home, but there's a lot of turrets here. As long as he doesn't get trapped or overcommit to the fight, it's gonna be okay. That +1 weapon's about to finish, so he doesn't have it yet, but it's really close. Stim gonna move forward. Yeah. Marines are pretty spread out. No medics around as well.
Some real nice control here from Kaz, I feel. And this little pocket here on the backside of the expansion of the main is really nice area to just cause some havoc, because it's not optimal movement path for the Marines, and just like 2 free turrets, you can easily take that down. And then you have free reign over these SUVs, which means Terran can't move out.
If you could delay these Star Force, that'd be big here. I know he saw them real quick. Gonna kill the turret. And you see the Marines trying to come back. Didn't stim yet. Don't overcommit, but if you can stop these, that'd be good. Manage to stop both the productions on them. And just keeping the Mutas mostly alive. Ooh, now he wants to fight. Taking some damage. More damage than I want. Oh, no.
Oh, that was not optimal.
I mean, he's still making a lot of Mutas, so he can keep replenishing them. He has 11 here, not 5 more in production. And we did get the Queen's Nest and the Hydra Den up for in that top right area, working on lurkers. And there's that drone count, kind of shooting up, like I was saying. Like, he likes to just kind of build up his economy after getting some of this early leads here. Havier's going to try to move out here, but you got to be so careful at this point. Like, the Mutas, they got the +1. There's more than one full group. If you step too far out of position, you put yourself in real trouble here. Where's Havior going to move, is the question.
Yeah, I think as Terran here, you really want to like barrel for the third. There's no lurkers on the ramp as of yet, so it's still the most vulnerable place. But Kos is making some really good work with the Mutalisks here. Just keep tearing away at the Bioball. Picking one off that straggles behind, forces some to move back. Now these are all exposed. Really great job with Mutalisk this game, I feel.
Yeah, he's got more on the side coming from the right. Like, gonna be able to reinforce here. He's still got 10 here, 6 more to join it, plus more from the maze. He's just gonna try to fight this straight up. Oh, he lost a couple as they went to reinforce, unfortunately.
Yeah. Maybe could like put some extra actions at sniping the medics, but I mean that's just me trying to be nitpicking, trying to find something to give constructive feedback on. It's really nice mutant movements this game. I really appreciate it.
You know, things have been going great so far. But Javier, if you can get these reinforcements into that main group, this is going to be a pretty scary force. Still working on these upgrades. You can see the supply though is still close between 2 players.
Oh no no!
Bruised.
Oh yeah, there's so many bruised Mutalisks, that scares me a bit.
Yeah, it scared me a lot. Not a little bit. You see that clump went down real fast as far as everything goes with it. Lurker aspect's done, but I don't think he's actually made any lurkers yet. This mutant force is now pretty much eliminated here. This is not exactly what you want to do, because this bought enough time. Javier is starting to work on that science vessel production. He's gonna have radiates on the field soon.
Yeah, but now Kos got some lurker eggs on the ramp to the third, which will definitely slow down any potential attacks on that base. Adding up Sunkians, getting a Nidus to connect to the natural, Defiler Mound on the way. I do like that, but as you said earlier, what I'm really missing is an evolution chamber. And there's only 3 drones in the natural working on the minerals.
As Javier Arbor started to really kind of accumulate and get a little bit scarier here. More mutas trying to find a spot to fly safely, getting bruised up again. They're really looking to do some damage to these science vessels. Do manage to kill one, kill the other, so that's a good pickoff. Not having these Scourge to do it, resetting things a little bit, just buying time. But that supply, it was a lot closer before. You can see like this Bioforce is getting stronger, and the upgrades kind of keep moving through too. It's 1-1 now with +2 weapons, about halfway done. And now moving over towards that natural again. Lots of vision for Kos. He at least has an idea what's going on, but until defilers are done with consume, like this is still gonna be very scary to deal with. More reinforcements from Javier as well.
Yeah. Nidus is about to finish up, which will connect the natural and the third. And consume is about 70% done.
It's still pretty scary though. Mutas from the back, trying to do
something.
Oh,
another vessel snipe. No! 11 HP. Oh, that was so close. 2 Scourge finding the full health one.
This is still very scary for Zerg, I think. That Terran army outside. Even we got the Knights and all that stuff. Consume is done, so you know, now you have access to the defilers, but one gets a raid immediately. It doesn't even get a Dark Swarm off, unfortunately, so You know, everything you do, and a couple Marines going to move over to the top right. Make sure that it doesn't go fully like undefended. Finds that there's a hatchery being morphed. Going to start going there. The Lurker's going to move down the ramp. Havier's still got all their army by the natural. They're going to try to do something while the distraction is on.
And now the Evolution Chamber is coming up together with the Ultra Cavern. I would have liked the Evolution Chamber to be up for a bit earlier to start on the Carapace, because Ultras don't really shine until they have like +4 armor. But better late than never.
Yeah, but it's going to be so long before the Ultras are really like live, because you have to wait for armor. Like, you could have been like working on +2 armor while you're getting your speed and your chitinous plating and all that kind of stuff. It would have been a lot more robust, but I mean, you're going to get there eventually. It's no big deal here.
Yeah.
You're still outside the natural, not really trying to force their way in. Couple Marines keep moving up to the top right as well. Havior hasn't taken a third base, so I'm curious when he's going to try to do that, if he's comfortable with the situation he is. Adding on more racks, he's going to 8 racks, 2 starports on 2 base. See if he wants to kind of transition add that eventually. Find some mutas.
Oh no.
Oh no. Well, I mean, if you like Terran, oh yes, that's a big pickup. Big pickup to kill those mutas.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, when it comes to the Evolution Chamber, you don't really want to start massing up Ultras until you have the 4th gas active. As is right now, COS has a lot of minerals, which is better made into few defilers and a bunch of lings.
Oh, I love this. Look at this move. We're going into the natural here with a big force, but look at the reinforcements to the top right. If he nices to defend this natural, that 3rd dies. This is a big move. Got to work his way through the sunk. It's got plenty of muscle. +2 weapons are done, +2 armor nearing completion, so maybe could have waited a little bit. The Lurkers did big damage though, so unfortunately that attack at the natural didn't work out. I was very surprised at how well that got held by COS.
Yeah, that was a lot of Lurkers in that Lurker stack.
Wow, yeah, it's not 3 of them. Which are brutal. And 5 of them in this stack. Look at that, that's 5 Lurkers. That's illegal. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. That's so stupid.
Yeah, so even without Swarm, it was a hard position to break. I'm not sure if I've seen Plague being researched. Do you know if it's been done?
I have not seen it yet, no.
But that would have been a sick move on the Vessel Cloud.
Yeah, that could have been pretty nice here. With Scourge is going to move forward, does some damage, you know, nice. And this is buying a lot of time for those upgrades. The Evo Chamber's rolling through, Kite is playing for the Ultras as well. But, like, COS's money bank isn't monstrously huge, right? He hasn't actually been mining from this 4th base that he took for a pretty significant amount of time. Havior is going to poke forward again, and he's taking a base down at the 6 o'clock himself. So, you know, this will get a little bit better as things keep moving forward. But you can see these Hive Tech links, the support of the Defiler doing great work, kind of even things out. And, like, COS, if they can just, you know, get to like 100 supply, 110 supply, like I think they're going to be feeling a lot more comfortable. They're going to get there soon. 11 drones on the way. They're actually going to take the worker lead on that one.
And I do like that Havior is keeping his starports busy, making non-stop vessels.
Queued up 5 of them though.
yeah, 5 queued up in both starports at one point. But I think, like, if you can afford it, it's better to make sure. So you can also like micro your Marines at the 2 engages you're pressuring, and still then come out with 10 vessels still alive.
Yeah, but money spent is money spent. You know, queuing it up is not the best. But if you're focusing on all this micro, you know, if you gotta do it, you gotta do it. There's Plague on the way now. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen an attempt for a dropship at this point.
Yeah, because we saw it in so much earlier.
Ooh, big eraser at the 4th.
Oh, that's one is intense. For me personally, I always remember to get Burrow as the eraser is happening.
Yeah, I think that's every Zerg player. There's just so much damage. Oh my god. That erasered like what? Like 13, 14 drones? That is huge.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Got to move out from the natural here. Leg's going to get a good surround here. There's a lot of medics. Darkstorm goes down. I think Havior's army here is going to get cleaned up without too much issue. The Eraser did a lot of damage. Havior's supply is still skyrocketing, but at least some pressure getting alleviated at the natural. Havior going to have to figure out what they want to go for next. Plague about to finish as well. But Ultras are starting to get a little bit worrisome. You know, they got the +3 armor, so they're up to 4. If they get that next Carapace upgrade, it's going to be pretty robust.
Yeah, it's on the way. And as he's here for Zerg, top priority is to get the 5th gas. So I would like to see a drone leave to make another hatchery at 12 or at 9 from the natural here.
I think that 12 seems better to me because all the pressure is up in those 2 corners. I don't want to put a weakness over at the 9. I think it's too hard to connect to, even with Nidus.
Yeah, but you have broken out at your natural, and there's still army at the mineral only outside 1 o'clock. So 12 o'clock is like a little bit exposed compared to 9, which is like cross map from the Terran. So I can see an argument for both.
Big move in here. No defilers to help out. There's not that much defense. There's a lot of those lurkers that can finally go down, but here from behind, melee unit's going to try us around, but Havior's still got this big bio army. Is this going to be enough? Still no defiler support though.
Yeah, 2-2 versus +3 Carapace Ultras.
A lot more Ultras coming in though. Not the links that kind of help out, but you know, this just might be enough. Throw enough money at the problem. Going to be able to fix it. Didn't lose the hatchery at the 4th. That's really huge that Kaz managed to save it.
Yeah, that was a lot of Ultras that showed up to save the day.
Yeah, Havior's got a 4th base at the mineral here. It's going to be the opportunity. Now that the pressure's been alleviated from all the bases, but here's the dropships I won. 4 of them moving now. They got lots of stuff in them.
4 is the magic number to kill all your stuff before anyone can react. That's the magic numbers of dropships.
Now they're moving through. They went up to the 12, nothing's there. Gonna go into that main, top right. We got a scan going through. There is defilers here. Thankfully no Scourge to find these things. There's 2 by that natural. Just, you know, be a little careful. Scourge coming on over. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh,
that's brutal. That's a lot lost of 4 Scourge. That's a lot of supply they killed.
Yeah, but this is a very nice position for your army.
Oh, that is a brutal pocket for Ultras to kind of deal with. A lot of drones going down, but still, like, Kaz's been working on big worker production this whole time. Even with the damage being done, he's still in a great spot economically. Even taking 2 bases over in the bottom left as well. Havior's got to figure out how to consolidate and kind of go through, but it's still Terran on 4 base. Like, this is a proper late game. I wouldn't say either player has a really big advantage.
It's still very much up in the air. The dropship here denying the natural is obviously huge, and all these marines here pressuring the 4th, and there seems to be no defiler close by, which is very much a 12 kill firebat, aka the corporal.
Yeah, the D-Matrix going down some of these units. +3 weapons from Terran is done. We haven't hit 3 Carapace for Zerg yet. They haven't even started it. So unfortunately, this is not as good of Ultras to fight this as you'd like. So hopefully that gets started soon enough. More D-Matrix going down. These science vessels, they're broken. Let's be real. That really is broken. They do too much stuff.
Yeah, science. I mean, they're super fast and they fly and they kill stuff with just 1 click. And they can also make your units invisible.
The dropship going to come on over. They're out of units, so they're not going to be able to immediately reinforce, but still, Havior got to kill the 4th base. Kaz did take the bottom left, like I was saying, so hasn't been detected or pressured just yet. Reinforcements in the middle of the map. Kaz trying to fight them, but the upgrades aren't quite there to make that work out too well. You can see Kaz supply keeps kind of falling. These trades not going as well as you would like here. Havior with a decent bank build up and a good amount of macro back at home as well. So this is it's definitely a little bit dangerous here. I think if they make a good, dedicated decision, this is what I want to do, kind of force it to happen, they're going to be in a great spot.
Indeed. The vessels in Kaz third is. Oh no, you can't gift the fighters at this stage of the game. It's too close. It seems like HAVIOR caught wind of the expansion at 7 o'clock. 2 dropships moving that direction with gusto and decisiveness.
Yeah, and the movement to the top right as well. So where do you go with your units? You're trying to defend which side of it. Scourge do kill some things, but dropship out of vision. Thankfully, there's not too much there at the bottom left, but killing the hatchery alone is going to be well worth it. Scourge can kill some more vessels. A little sloppy now at this point. The game's been going on for a while, and they're understandable. It's still just game one.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, that's incredible. I think killing 7 o'clock here is quite a decisive move. These vessels have enough energy to do another eraser, but there's just not enough drones here to make it merit it. Seems like Kos is aiming to take 12. I do like that.
I like that we're seeing the physics lab on the way. Battle cruisers for the late game TVZ. I love that move. Ever since I saw Light do it the first time, I'm like, I love this. This is so cool.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense here because Kos is really taxed gas-wise, and I mean they're great versus Ultralisks, since Ultralisk doesn't shoot up.
I also just like him to help with your Scourge defense, because I think the air-to-air laser kills him in one shot.
Yeah.
Looks like that pressure on 7 o'clock, that base goes down. So Kaz losing base left and right, finally had enough. HAVIOR going to take a very, very late game, game one. Longest game we've had tonight. That was good. That was a fun one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was nuts. Really well played by both players.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason, like you mentioned it, it's like, oh, this one's going to be exciting. That's the reason I saved it for last.
Yeah.
Definitely a good one, though. But, you know, going on Sylphid's smaller map, I don't think you're going to get away with some of the stuff we saw in this one. I think especially Kaz, I don't think you're going to be able to take the second main and be as defensive. So we'll see if the game plan changes for game 2.
Yeah. Maybe he'll be more abusive in regards to harass on the main with Mutalisk, because Mutalisk micro was really crisp.
Yeah, let's introduce the players real quick. Up at the 12, I switched it. It's the red Zerg Kaz in the bottom left and the blue Terrence HAVIOR. And yeah, like his 2-hatch, his muted control, even though he was adding them on, like he was taking good fights. It's just he took that one bad fight and lost them all. But until then, like everything was looking great. So I think a map like this, you go 2-hatch muted again, commit to it just like he did before, he can put himself in a great spot.
Yeah. And I mean, that's, I guess, life of the mute the micro. Like, you take 10 good engages and then you take 1 bad. And, okay, thanks for that one. but I do think, like, the overall, like, the concepts of how he moved his Mutalisks and where he was circling around and everything, it was fantastic to see, I think.
Overlord on the way, so we're not seeing any early pool shenanigans on Sylphid. Like, Kaz just gonna stay true to their guns, so I wouldn't be surprised. Just pass first, go for the 2-hatch. Because, I mean, especially you get a game that goes that late, like, you can't, like, why would you change your early game strategy? It set you up for success, just, you know, the late game got away from you. Right?
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, like, it was really even in the mid game and into the late game. Both traded quite well and everything was correctly. So I definitely don't think there's any reason to switch it up. Like, it could have gone either way multiple times.
Yeah, now we'll see if it ends up being it. It looks like it will be gas before pool again.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't I mean, obviously, like, the setup didn't ever turn bad. It wasn't like, oh, they're so behind, but I didn't see the advantage of doing it. Like, it wasn't apparently clear to me. So, maybe it's just a style choice, or like an edge case. Like, if they do this, I can abuse it, but that didn't happen in the last game. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not fully sure either because, like, it didn't line up in a way where the gas went into something. Cost me drones instead of like saving, so could do both the lair and the link speed at the same time.
And we're getting the same opening from HAVIOR, getting the Rax 1 Marine straight to a CC. See if they want to skip the bunker this time. Smaller map, a little riskier to do so. Lair on the way, and the gas beam mine, so should be, speed behind this, or are you just going to save it up? This SCV, you really going to try it?
Yeah, I think it's probably more that it's like, got one. Oh, that always hurts in the soul when it happens.
I mean, it's great for an observer. That was sick. And it also is a distract your opponent. If they want to start lane speed, they forgot.
Yeah, no, I think if you're going for the link speed, you get the gas as soon as you have 50 minerals. Here, I think the idea was to make gas and pool same time, but the gas started earlier and the pool started a little bit later. Because if you make the gas at 50 minerals and then at the next 200 minerals you make the pool, then you will have 200 gas when pool finishes, and here it was 120. So I think the idea was to make them at the same time, but just that the gas was made a little bit earlier.
That seems reasonable enough. The lair is done, but no lair building made. Just as I said that, there goes the spire. Slightly delayed, no big deal. HAVIOR, though, building up that marine count, did make a bunker at the natural, but they sent a second SCV scout, get an idea it's not that many links. You don't have to really worry about things. Academy on the way, and no eBay just yet, but he had the eBay on time last game as well, so nothing.
6 links is a sizable amount of links that would normally merit a bunker or at least a supply depot to SimCity. Now there's a lot of marines here, but I mean, if Cos would have made 2 or 4 more links added with link speed, this could have gone dicey, and it could have been like 3 marines left alive, which leaves open for more effective mute harassment afterwards.
Well, like I was saying, I'm unsure if Kyle's going to try to take another main, but yes, he is. True to form, 3-player map, whatever, I'll take it. Take it for it, you can get it, no problem. Here comes that move out from HAVIOR, though, going to force some kind of reaction. The Lings do run away to see the move out. Still only one sunken up at the front. And Stim's going to be finished, and this is a little bit dicey.
Yeah, 2 medics. Yeah, this can be a really strong pre-muta timing. Which will be a bit scary since there's no larva. Maybe 1 second sunken about 2 minutes ago, or an evolution chamber to kinda cut off some movement path. Okay, mutas get out. I think that will be enough to hold.
So I'm gonna go forward, right for the sunken. Gonna try to go through. Leg's gonna help. Has to back off. Mutas not really trying to engage too much, but still, you got to stim out. You got some damage done. Didn't lose the sunken. That's exactly what he wants to cause. Now the Muta's going to try to fight him in the open. They get split up a little bit. It's exactly what he's looking for. Has to use another stim, trying to fight the straight up, but the Lings are here to help and clears out that entire force, barely losing anything.
Yeah, that was too exposed at that point. And now this force is sizable enough to actually do some real damage to the turn here.
Yeah, this is a bit scary here, especially without that bunker. There's some turrets up, but you're right next to Great Ridge. Oh, beautiful from Ka so far. Gonna keep reinforcing it as well. No medics to help these Marines out, so Stim, very risky option. You're gonna go for it here. Everything falling so fast. No more anti-air. Even some of the Lings still alive, and there's going to be so much pressure over there. As natural Lings can take care of that. Muta is just going to camp the entrance. Yeah, this attack went way better than we saw last game. Sylphid, you know, just everything comes a little bit faster here. And, you know, skipping that bunker, that little bit of greed, that might have been just enough because he saw how fast those Marines died when the Lynx went in.
Yeah. And also making good use of the very bruised Marines in the first engage. After trying to bust the Sunkens and then having to stim once to move in and then stim once to move out. So yeah, the situation can be very, very, very close and quickly go out of hand, spiral out of hand. But you gotta keep the pressure up. It's only 3 turrets here and no Marine support. Could definitely go for the throat here, I feel.
Yeah, I would have liked to see some lanes go in, at least put more pressure on the natural so you're not fighting the turrets so much. You see, still trying to micro through. He has air weapons on the way, not done yet, so, you know, trying to fight here, but finds a good spot where the Marines are, again, not finding their best way to be protected as they try to harass here. His view is doing big work. Link's going to move through. Hydrogen about done, and the factory is only on the way at this point, so still very far away from a raid to kind of help out here. More damage is going to happen up at this natural. Like, this just really get out of hand. Cause building quite a supply lead, which for Zerg sounds like a death sentence.
Yeah. I hear the Mutalisks are camping the choke while the Lings clear up the turrets.
This is brutal. It's only with 3 racks of production. Like, you're never going to build up enough to fight this.
Yeah, kind of need science vessels. And the GG is called.
Yeah, Kaz even it up. Our final match will go to a game 3, and the opening is very similar, but what different games we saw there. This is going to be an interesting one on Butter. Again, you know, a little bit of a smaller map. We'll see if there's some kind of adjustment. At least a bunker. Just give me the bunker.
I wonder where Kos will take his third this time. Since there's no main.
You know what? I think it's going to be not that 9 o'clock base, but the one either right above or below it.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's the
that would be interesting.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Last map on Butter. Last game of the night as well, so thank you all for tuning in. We got one more. Hopefully it's going to be a really good one. Can I play with regulars? I can. In the top right in the blue, it's HAVIOR. In the bottom right in the pink, it's Kaz.
Well, will be interesting to see how it goes. For me personally, I've felt all season that Butter is the map I'm least happy about seeing being in the maps of the week when I have signed up.
Even you more than Good Night, you'd rather play a Good Night.
Personally, yeah. Fits my style better. But at the same time, at the end of the day, I've probably had best results on this map. I think I won most of my sets on this map when I've actually played, but it feels like it's much harder. I don't know why.
It's because you're just a god gamer, man.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see where things go from here. Normally I see Terrence try to do a little wall off between the main and the natural. Not seeing that here from HAVIOR, so...
Yeah, I think all Terrence tonight have done the little wall.
Yeah, even like not tonight though. I feel like I always see that. Like this depot place, I'm like, that's interesting, huh?
Yeah, it's like so cheap to just make the wall. Sure, it like restricts your movement a bit when you enter the mid game. So if you don't have to do it, you probably don't want to. But at the same time, it denies scouting from the opponent. And kinda adds a little bit of mystery to what you're doing, and also it's safe against pool first builds.
Yeah, no, that's why I think I see it so often, especially because 2-player map, if you're gonna do pool first, that you know, at a base level makes more sense. Like, oh, I know where they are, I can math out the timing, I know exactly what I need to do. But so we haven't seen that here though, not a big deal. Now we did get the pool and extractor, same thing we've been seeing. So we'll see if things line up a little bit better this time, or you know, it's it's just what Kaz does. Whatever.
This time it looked quite well synced. We had pool at 202, which is very decent timing.
And HAVIOR looks like they're going to do the same thing. That money building up, so wouldn't be surprised to see exactly the same. We get the racks, we get the CC, second racks eventually, gas after. You know, I think both players, you know, just staying true to what they want to do at every game here. And like realistically, compared to the first game and the second game, I think HAVIOR was just a little too greedy. Maybe don't move out so aggressively. Maybe the bunker back at home. I don't know. Like, I think it's gonna be something that HAVIOR can easily adjust and, you know, not get caught so badly like he did on Sylphid. So we'll see how things play out. Lair on the way. SCV sees it, doesn't care. And the links around, immediately kills the scout. That's not great.
Yeah, and Cos here only committing to 4 links, which is the standard one. So that's very good. If HAVIOR would decide to skip on the bunker, it would be fine in this situation. But since the scout died so fast, it would also make sense to get it, since you actually don't know if Zerg just went 8 Zerglings, like made 2 more, 1 in the main and 1 in the natural.
Yeah, I just want the bunker. Not like the early protection's nice too if they do go for a lot of lengths, but I like it because it makes it harder to harass the natural with the mutas. You can't move as freely because like that bunker, you're not killing that bunker. The Marines just out in the open, you might be able to like sneak them towards the wall, use some of this ridge, like you can kind of make use of some of the terrain, but that bunker ain't going anywhere. You kind of have to just deal with it.
Yeah, I agree with that. The bunker at the choke or close to the ramp, it definitely adds a lot defensively against muta harassment. We're getting a bunker here. But also the issue why many Terrans really don't want to do it is because it cuts into your Steam timing. As we see here, okay, now Steam finished up perfectly. Or well, we needed a depot, so couldn't get it directly as it finished. But it cuts a bit into your eBay, Academy and Steam timing to get the bunker. It's 100 minerals that you're kind of short for at that moment in the game, so you want to avoid it if possible, but it is really helpful when you enter the muta stage.
I mean, you can also delay the bunker a little bit, like get it around the time you're going to get the turrets anyway, if you're really worried about it, to help more with the mutas and the lings, if you think your opponent's not making them, which Kaz has not made a lot of lings any of these games. And the couple that have got made looks like maybe going to get picked off. HAVIOR is going to move out again. We do see the same thing from Kaz, making a bunch of mutas and also investing in the +1 air weapons. Has the third hatchery on the way. Not where I predicted. He went for the one that makes more sense. That's fair.
Yeah, I prefer the high ground over 6 and 12, but 6 is also fine. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're playing with a lot of mutas, maybe taking the one above your main all the focus would be there, so you can't just freely fly from the main to your opponent. You know, just kind of keep more in the center of the map where it's a little more spaced.
Yeah, that's a reasonable argument. But also it's closer by air, so you can easily just reinforce and then defend the ramp. And then circle down, defend the sunken area. There's argument for both, I feel.
Absolutely. I agree with that. You can see Kaz, again, using that pretty good meter micro, trying to invest and get some more damage done. Getting more mutas behind this as well. HAVIOR still building up their things as well. Turrets are going up. You can see working on the upgrades, and Kaz's micro so far doing a pretty good job. Now committing, like, is this maybe a little too early? Loses a couple mutas, but going to clear out the force and sitting in the same spot we were just in last game. Clears out that attacking force, relieves the pressure. As that third base basically just finishes up, you get to go crazy, draw as much as you want.
And now there'll be 3 drones on gas at the third. Probably we'll start to get the next batch of tech, probably on Hydrodem, I'd wager, or a Nest.
I'd like to see Hydrogen get the Lurkers, because if you can manage to get that contain outside the natural, it's really big pain in the ass, so I think the Lurkers might have a little more mileage here. But yeah, we'll see what he wants to do. I wouldn't be surprised to see the quick hive. But he's just going to see if there's an opening. Lots of turrets covered in a lot of good spots, so I don't think you're going to really find any easy hole to abuse. Just keep the opponent pinned back while you drone up and be a little bit greedy, as Kaz is already ahead of me doing that.
Yeah, it's really well placed turrets, I feel. Oh.
As long as he doesn't overcommit, gotta be a little bit careful, but again, finding every little kill you can. As long as he doesn't do that one mistake where he goes too hard and loses them all, it's not gonna cause any problems.
When you're very bruised, you're very bruised.
Yeah, +1 about to finish. There it is, and he's got more mutas. Keeps making them. Hasn't decided what the transition is. If it's going to be another base or it got stuff. And as I say that, there's the Hydrodens. It'll be Lurkers. And it looks like Javior's gearing up for the move out, and a Queen's S as well. So quick hive going towards the Defilers. Javior maybe sensing a chance that this could be the opportunity here. If Kaz wants to back off on making mutas, gonna keep moving forward. Scans going.
I think Javior is trying to time here with when +1 finishes.
Hopefully.
Because picking off everything that is available to pick off. 11 mutas is a sizable force.
Yeah, he's even got one more off the side. A couple drones got rallied into a bad spot, unfortunately. Happens to the best of us. We got... Oh, no! We're just going in a little bit hard. Very bruised. Gotta be careful. Buying time's one thing, but you can't lose half your mutas because you bought time. That's not what we're looking for. Starport's on the way, as well as Hive. More mutas being made. Cost has lots of money banked up as well. Do you think, like, the way Kaz plays, he should be adding a fourth hatchery just for macro a little bit earlier than he does?
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I could see that. Because it's a very larva-starved situation, as is. I mean, right now there's 5 larva, but in general, like we can use this and still have a lot of resources available.
And a little bit of a supply block slowing things down. Hey, we're gonna keep pushing forward, trying to build up that army. Mew's doing what they can, but still, a couple of them pretty bruised. Stib's gonna go forward. He's by the ridge, got a little more room. Scan to make sure you can keep fighting them if he has to. Link's trying to help, they're not doing anything, and here comes the attack over to the third. No Sunkets, no defense, lots of Overlords to kill too. This could be a big chance for Javior to do some big damage. We'll see if Kaz can defend it.
Yeah, I think this will be tough to defend. Oh, yeah. With +1 and sufficient medic count.
Yeah, the drones even being pulled to fight. All the mutas die, and that's it. Unfortunate. With 18-18 in the bank. Oh, man.
Damn. Yeah, that was a rough end to this in general. It was a very spectacular series. Very strong execution of the attack there from Javior. Really well played, and unfortunate for Kaz that skimped on the safety Sunkens there.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate here. That does give Javior the win, which means out of the tier 1, Let's Tech wants 4 out of the 5. So that team's looking pretty strong here. It didn't work out the way we wanted to, but that is the end of our tier 1. If you missed tier 2, that was cast earlier today by DAHAKI, so you can get the link to that thing. Watch it on the VODs. They'll be on YouTube eventually, I'm sure, as well. So, you got plenty of time to check that out. We're going to have more playoffs action probably throughout the weekend, next week as well. We got to finish up round 2 so we can get started on the finals. But that's the cast we had tonight. I've been SAETZERO. Return. Thanks for joining me, buddy. It was a blast.
Thanks for having me, and have a good evening, everyone, or day.
Yeah, wherever you are, who knows. And if you're in America, stay safe. 4th of July weekend. People are crazy. Don't use explosives.
Yeah, stay home or stay outside, but far away from other people.
Yeah. All right.